All right, everybody. Welcome to the Home Team Watch Party presented by Lowe's. I hope we can get some excitement in week 7, right? Now, we got the Patriots and the 49ers coming up. That's going to be great. It's going to be hard to beat what we just saw at the end of the early slate of games, but I'm so excited to be here. I'm Adam Azer. Will Brinson's going to be joining me in just a moment. Danny Woodhead, Vernon Davis, Jamie Eisenberg, Nando DeFino, all coming on the watch party today presented by Lowe's. So thrilled that you are here. Let's talk about some football. Will Brinson is here. Will, I was just saying, I hope we get we deserve some exciting football in the late games because the 1 o'clock games were kind of lame.
Yeah, it was brutal, man. It was just awful to watch. By the way, how about your boy Todd Gurley pulling a Penn State and falling into the end zone to give the Lions fresh life? So bad.
So
did you see that Penn State thing last night, by the way?
I saw a chunk of the end of that game. Like I saw the game tying touchdown, then I saw overtime, and then I heard the reference to it, but I don't know what Penn State did. But I guess they did what Todd Gurley did.
They scored a touchdown. They could have they could have kneed out and would have just beaten Indiana.
Oh.
And they scored and allowed Indiana to go back down the fild and score a touchdown, take it to overtime, then beat them outright. So possibly.
Well, that was an amazing game. I'm not convinced that Indiana actually won that game because that 2-point conversion, not so sure.
I had the over in that game too.
Nice. So listen, man, that was insane. We're gonna get into San Francisco, New England. That game's starting in about 6 minutes. So glad you're joining us here. But okay, Pittsburgh beats Tennessee. Stephen Gostkowski misses the game-tying field goal. Cleveland beats Cincinnati on a Donovan Peoples-Jones touchdown catch. I put in parentheses, make People's Choice joke. I'm going to work on that throughout the show. Detroit beats Atlanta on a TJ Hawkinson touchdown catch in the final seconds. And yes, Todd Gurley scores a touchdown. They're down by 2, right? Down by 2, yeah. They are inside the 5, so they could just kick a field goal to win and run the clock out. Gurley was like trying so hard not to get in. He falls in the end zone. It was a lot like Ahmad Bradshaw in the Super Bowl, like almost 10 years ago now. Was it that long ago? Wow.
My second Super Bowl.
2011, 2012 Super Bowl. And then Kenny Golladay makes the catch. They spike the ball with 3 seconds left. And they throw a touchdown to TJ Hawkinson at the end of the game. So wild stuff. And honestly, that was exciting for fantasy. But for NFL, that Steelers-Titans game was Clash of the Titans, should we say? Thank you. People's Choice. What did you think of that game and the way it unfolded? Because Roethlisberger's interception in the end zone was about as boneheaded of a play as Gurley's touchdown.
Yeah, it was pretty bad, and
great play by Tennessee. I gotta say on that.
Yeah, I mean he had a crossing route underneath it he could have thrown to that was an easy completion, and it's a dagger too because if you had the over at 51.5, hypothetically that you took live when there was a bunch of scoring. That should have been a field goal opportunity for Pittsburgh. They don't get it. And then you're like, all right, well, surely Gostkowski will make this. And he didn't.
Yeah. No, that seems like a pretty specific hypothetical. But the Steelers are rolling, right? Still undefeated.
Yeah. I mean, I think you can kind of question their defense. Like they have a good pass rush. They can slow down the run, but they're not great against the pass. Minka Fitzpatrick hadn't been very good. And they're good on offense. They're not great. They're a really good team.
They're conservative on offense. They don't throw the ball downfield, but they've got so many weapons. I mean, we saw Chase Claypool was invisible today, but Deontay Johnson caught a couple of touchdowns, and Juju had his best game. The Buccaneers are driving down the field, trailing 7-0 here. If you got any questions here on Twitch, fire away, twitch.com/FF today. Thank you for joining us. Tell your friends, join the watch party. Having fun here. We got Danny Woodhead joining us shortly. Let's get a poll up there. Let's see who thinks we think the outcome of the game will be. 49ers versus Patriots. And let's talk fantasy real quick. Our number 1 quarterbacks right now. Joe Burrow and Baker Mayfield scored 39 fantasy points. They're number 1. Aaron Rodgers is number 2. How about those young quarterbacks, the rookie and the third-year guy? Burrow and Mayfield.
Yeah, I mean, incredible show. I still stand by the idea that Burrow is just going to be awesome as long as they can get him an offensive line. Like he's even good without an offensive line, but they have to get him some kind of help. And then Mayfield, this is a big game. I mean, our old colleague Nick Costas was just featured on Old Takes Exposed for his take that they should bench Baker last week for Case Keenum.
He said that?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
At some point he said it. And I mean, Mayfield had a monster game. He had 5 passing touchdowns.
Is that
like, was he in the Millie? Did somebody play it? No way anybody played him in the Millie Maker, right?
I don't know. I think Leonard Fournette just caught a pass, if I'm not mistaken, and got down to the 1 yard line. That's what we call an almost touchdown. All right, like this is a big moment here. Who's in the game? That appears to be Leonard Fournette. Give me a break, dude. Is he the green zone guy? Tom Brady with a QB sneak for a touchdown. That's really like Ronald Jones deserves better than that. But there you go. That's why people and myself included were nervous about Ronald Jones. Not so much this week, but just going.
By the way, I have the 49ers money line in a parlay.
Okay, very nice.
The other 2 legs were Hawaii yesterday. Don't ask me why. And the Detroit Lions money line. So,
all right, we got some questions coming in here, and we've got so far only 6 votes, but 5 of them for the 49ers, as that game is about to kick off. And how did the Bills not do good against the Jets? Says Panic FIFA, or no, PA Nick FIFA. I don't know. So I watched a lot of this game. They have no running game. This was not on Josh Allen. He played pretty well. They couldn't finish any drives. They dominated this game, but they can't run the ball. And it seems like they kept driving the ball and a sack, a fumble, penalty, something would just hinder them. And they just kept kicking field goals. That was the 6 field goals in that game. So, it was disappointing. They do have to fix that run game. I don't know if their offensive line can do it. But if they're going to be a serious contender, they got to be a little bit more 2-dimensional than that. We're about to be underway. Will, any thoughts that you want to talk about from the early games? I love talking about the Jets. So
please, I didn't watch a second of that game. Don't want to hear about it. Do we like the over in Kansas City?
I don't know. I'm not here to help you place your bets. So Andy,
over under in Kansas City, Twitch.
Oh yeah, Twitch can sell us. And I don't think Zach Moss is going to take over the Bills' backfield personally. I don't think that he's the answer, quite honestly. I just don't think they're going to have a good running game. Josh Allen is going to be their running game. So Andy Dalton, that injury was scary. That was such a dirty hit. The Cowboys are the worst team in football. They're worse than the Jets. No, they're not. No, they're not. The Jets are worse. We'll see about the Jaguars. Oh, look at that snow, man. Look at that snow in Denver. Holy cow.
I don't even have that game on. How are you seeing that?
It's on red zone. Let's go to the triple box, Will.
I got to reiterate this. I cannot stand how Scott Hansen says the word challenge. Drives me absolutely nuts. Challenge. All right, let's go to Buffalo, and we can see here Josh Allen is about to take the snap. Stop it. Just have somebody else talk about the Josh Allen.
Anything that with that sound, yeah. He did point out, though, so I think everybody should be clear that it's pronounced Robert Tunyon. We're just going to have to keep reminding people until it becomes a household thing.
How about how the Packers PR people were like, as in, rhymes with Funyun. It was like, how about just onion?
Onion, right? Yeah.
That's
funny.
Yeah.
All right. There we go. First down for the San Francisco 49ers. And I'm not good with numbers.
You know what? I'm going to have to adjust.
I got to pull the rosters up.
My television real quick. I'll be right back.
Jeff Wilson gets the first carry. That is interesting. All right. It's just me and Will. Just me by myself. No Will for a little bit. I don't know if Brinson is reading the chat, but love your podcast. That's not a great time to do it as soon as Will left the room, but sure. He's probably going to read that and he's going to enjoy that. All right. So Jeff Wilson, that was not something I expected. We got Danny Woodhead coming on in just a few minutes. That hit on Dalton, I do want to ask both Woodhead and Vernon Davis about that. They're not defensive players, but they obviously will have some insight. Will, I'm going to wait for Will to put on his headset. Yeah, Will, I was saying I want to ask our guests about that hit on Dalton. And I see it all the time in the college game, these targeting calls,
Yeah.
I know that was a really gross hit, but I feel like
John Bostic should be suspended for it.
Well, what I was going to say, and I want to get a player's perspective on it. I feel like it's so hard in real time, in full speed. A lot of times when guys hit with their helmet and they end up hitting someone else in the helmet, It's a player. It's an offensive player.
James Richard Garoppolo.
It's an offensive player in a downward motion. And I really think they're trying to hit with their shoulder a lot of the times. It ends up being helmet to helmet, and it's unintentional. And I just feel like, what are these guys supposed to do? I don't think this was that situation.
Yeah, I mean, Andy Dalton had given himself up and was sliding, and Bostic came in.
Right, but it's like a split-second thing, and I don't know.
It's hard, man. It's tough. But I mean, like that's not the first time that Bostic's done something like that either.
Well, that'll be interesting. They'll certainly look at his history. You were impressed with Jimmy Garoppolo and his rushing ability there, huh?
Was.
Yeah. All right. Garoppolo is a confusing quarterback. He's probably going to make a lot of bad throws in this game.
You think so?
Yeah, it's kind of what he does. I don't think he's all that good. Do you?
I think he's underrated.
He's fine. He's fine, right? Yeah, yeah.
I mean, it's hard to tell like whether or not it's Jimmy or Kyle, you know? Like
I think it's
is it the system? Like, is Garoppolo really legit? Is it the system, et cetera, et cetera?
Well, I think when you just look at the simple fact that like they get so many yards after catch, and they're always, whether it's Nick Mullins or Jimmy Garoppolo, not so much this year, but they're always among the leaders in yards per attempt. Like, look at this play right here. He just finds a way to get guys in space and make
Why did I not take the over on every one of Deebo Samuel's props?
I benched Deebo Samuel for CeeDee Lamb this week.
National Tight End Day. How exciting.
Not have a catch. All right. I got our first guest joining us. Our first repeat guest coming on the home team watch party presented by Lowe's. There he is. Ding dong. Danny Woodhead is here.
You gotta wait. You gotta have the ding dong, and then you gotta give them like 30 seconds before they get in there. That's just how this always works.
Okay. All right. Danny Woodhead is now here.
Hey, what's up? How we doing?
Did so well last time. We had to have you on repeat guest, Danny Woodhead. What's up, man?
Not much. I mean, I'll tell you what, that's a lot to live up to today. I don't know how I feel about that yet.
I think I cited our conversation from last time like multiple times
Did you really?
After, yeah. Like on our podcast, we were saying, I remember what we were talking about. I don't remember what part of the conversation, but I was like, when we had Danny Woodhead on.
Gosh, I'll take that.
I did too, Will. I'll tell you exactly what it was. You said, Danny, how important it was. I don't remember. Maybe you could say it again so I can quote it. How important it was to have guys who can beat man coverage on offense.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's the NFL. If you don't have someone, I mean, if I'm a defensive coordinator anyways, like I'm playing man to man if you suck at getting open. Right. Like I'm doing that all day because I mean, it just makes things way easier for the defense because anyone can get open against zone. It doesn't matter how fast you are. It doesn't matter how quick you are. I mean, you can just be a blocking tight end to get open.
Yeah.
Now, do you think that there's a shift? Because this is a theory that I've sort of been throwing around, a shift towards teams wanting to play some of these softer zones in order to make guys like Josh Allen and Deshaun Watson, rushing quarterbacks who are still progressing, sort of like is it my sound doing something?
No, I don't think we're good.
Okay. Sound awesome.
But like sort of like to make them make them sit in the pocket and like think more and be more patient, etc.
Well, I think the biggest thing is you play man to man, versus a Deshaun Watson, a Lamar Jackson, a Josh Allen, anyone that can halfway run, right?
Yeah. Well,
it just makes things difficult because that's where it's like, okay, I'd play zone. Just because you play man to man, you see it. You saw it the first year that Lamar was playing. Like, I can't remember what game it was. Now it's driving me a little bit. I think it might have been the Browns, but they were playing either 55 or 2-man. That's what defenses or offenses call it. Either cover 5 or 2-man, which is you have 2 guys deep and everyone else plays man. Well, that's probably the dumbest defense you could ever play against Lamar.
Yeah, really.
Like ever.
But aren't you more likely to be able to, react to his running if you're in man, if you're in zone?
Yeah, but you're chasing another dude who's already running.
Or did I get that backwards again? I did that.
I think it's impossible. So
a zone to stop the
because if I'm Lamar Jackson, or I'm just a fast running back, but somehow know how to throw, I'm just putting myself. Not that I'm fast, but you're faster than the quarterback, right? If I see it's man and it's 3rd and 5, there's no chance I'm going through my progression. Like, why? I know I can get probably 15
Right.
Like it just doesn't make a lot of sense. It's like, oh, they're turning and running.
I mean, if you run like a flood concept, like to one side of the field, you can just run to the other side of the field, and it's going to be
well, and that's the thing. In a lot of in 2-man or 55, whatever you want to call it, all the defensive backs and all the linebackers, they're all playing inside. They're not letting you get in the middle. Well, because there's no help. There's no like in man-to-man. If it's you can play 11 rat or whatever, 11 hole. There's someone in the middle. Well, when you're playing 55 or 2-man, you want everyone to go outside. So you're making them go outside. So think about it. You run a flood concept. I mean, it's like parting the Red Sea.
Right.
Like you can run for days. And then you have Lamar Jackson, who's maybe, I mean, he's as fast as almost anyone in the NFL. Like, that's just not smart. So that's a time when defenses aren't going to really want to play man-to-man, because if you have a Lamar Jackson, it's like, let's maybe have people have eyes on the quarterback.
Yeah, let's keep an eye on this guy.
Yeah.
Sounds crazy, but let's do it.
Well, and now today we got, first of all, 7-0 49ers. Or it's
right.
I think they scored. I don't think they kicked the extra point. Jeff Wilson with the rushing. As from a fantasy angle, this Jeff Wilson thing is very, very frustrating. We didn't even consider him. It was McKinnon, it was Hasty, and no, it's Jeff Wilson who gets the start. 4 carries on the opening drive and a touchdown. But this Kyle Shanahan offense is so.
Do you root for the Patriots, Danny?
You know what? For the first couple years after, I wanted them to lose every game. Wanted to lose every game because it's like one of those things. I was like, well, they didn't bring me back. I didn't like the offer that they offered me. So it's like they didn't care about me. Like every like 5-year-old thing you can do is what I was doing. But then now that I'm out, and even towards the end of my career, I was like, well, they do things the right way. Like, why do I hate them? Why? And even like fans, like sometimes I don't know if it'll be my dad or just someone, they'll be like, I want the Patriots to lose. I'm like, why? Because they do things right.
Yeah, exactly.
Like because
the Patriots,
because they're thorough with their game planning. Like, wait,
breaking news. Clyde Edwards-Helaire has scored a touchdown.
I would have never guessed him scoring a touchdown. Right. Is Le'Veon playing this week?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, he's playing.
I knew he was signed last, but I didn't know if he was playing this week, which I don't even know how that's going to work out. I don't know how much he's going to be playing, right?
Definitely not this week.
Imagine a ton.
Definitely up in the air, but yeah, he's
the double name guy's a solid baller.
Clyde, Donovan.
Yeah, I just prefer to call him Clyde.
Clyde. CEH is the lingo. CEH is what we call him.
That works.
Is there a bigger garbage fantasy player than Deshaun Watson?
What are you
I'll tell you
about?
what, he did put up. He found a way to get some points, right?
Unbelievable.
Garbage time, you mean?
Yeah, not like he's actually garbage. Like he's great.
No, he's an awesome player. It's kind of weird right now, but he is getting garbage points.
Absolutely.
So for anyone that like, I'm thankful that the people I'm not playing don't have that'd be bothersome. It's like you guys just got shellacked,
right?
And you scored a lot of points because you late in the game.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't feel like he deserved it.
Yeah. I mean, I agree.
I will. Let me ask this question here before you interrupt me again. So, Danny, did you see the hit on
You're
Andy
just going
Dalton?
on and on about Jeff Wilson and Kyle Shanahan? It was just boring.
It was a little boring. You're right. It was a little boring. I didn't have to give an update.
I'm not even a big fan of J-Dub. Don't know who he is. don't even know Jeff Wilson.
Did you see the hit on Andy Dalton?
Oh my gosh.
Okay. What was your take?
I didn't see it live, and I saw it more in slow-mo. I think it's malicious. It did look malicious because it's like, come on. Like, I mean, you were going right at him with your helmet. Like, right at him. I'm someone that leans more towards, like, I hate the targeting rule in college. I think it's this. If they voted on the dumbest rule in all of sports, it would be targeting.
Oh.
If there was another, there's no other rule that is that dumb. So that's the dumbest rule in the history. I think there's probably been a poll in the history of sports that it's the dumbest rule. Next,
I think it's actually the fumble into the end zone results in a touchback. Is the dumbest rule.
No, you know what? We'll get back to that.
What should it be?
Go back to targeting.
I'm on the other end of that, but which is going to frustrate you.
I like.
But I will say, something needs to happen. I don't know if it's. Did the guy get kicked out?
Yeah.
Yes.
I was gonna say,
got ejected. I assume he will be heavily fined and possibly suspended.
Right. I think ejection's fine. Great. Whatever. The way you're really going to hurt that man is in the pocketbook. Like if it's a hefty fine, that's not happening anymore. It just can't. I think that's one of the few times that I'll be like, that shouldn't be in our game. Right.
Right.
Like, and doesn't help that Andy Dalton's an awesome dude too. So it makes you feel like even worse for him. Not that I'm like, if it's some crappy dude, you're like, yeah, let's get him out of there. I mean, that's not my thinking.
How hard is it for a defensive player in general when they get like the targeting? I was just talking about that with Will. It's so frustrating because I see these guys, they try to hit with their shoulder. They've got this gigantic helmet that's not far from their shoulder.
Right.
And meanwhile, a wide receiver is catching a ball and going in a downward motion, and it ends up being targeting, where I truly believe that a lot of times they're trying to hit with their shoulder. It ends up being helmet to helmet. And I do think it's a dumb rule. Almost I think as dumb as like illegal contact being an automatic first down. But like how hard is that for a defensive player in full speed to not be, hitting with their helmet? I don't know.
I mean, I was an offensive player, and I think I think it's the stupidest thing ever. Like, they're in a lose-lose. They're not trying to kill human beings, besides a few times, right? And but I'm saying,
now
like,
James Harrison's retired. They're not trying to kill human.
Right? Exactly, and it's just, I wouldn't want to play defense. I'd have no interest in it because, like, I can't play full speed. I'm worried about getting fined, and those fines are heavy. They are a lot of money. So I think it's really difficult. I wouldn't want to play on defense. And I've always been someone that's aired, for the defense. Cause I'm like, it's kind of bull crap. I mean, the way that things are called. Yeah. Did it help, my teams a few times? Yeah, sure. It did. But like, I don't think for the most part, guys aren't out there trying to kill people. They're just not.
What's your take on the Patriots so far? Not necessarily in this game, but just offensively this season with Cam Newton, and it's been a bit of a struggle. I think he's thrown for less than 160 yards in 3 or 4 games, something like that.
The only good passing game he's had was against Seattle, and they're just not really good on defense.
Yeah, well, what's your take?
It's hard. I mean, you're going from Tom Brady to Cam Newton. Not that Cam Newton's a bad player, because he's one of the most talented guys to play the position. But you're also going from the greatest of all time, and they've historically had a really good roster. I don't know if I say that would be this year. I'm saying at least at the skill positions. Now you could write it off and be like, well, it doesn't matter. That's not the type of quarterback Cam is. And that's also true. I think it's something you still have to wait on, because it's been 5 games. Yeah, they're 2-3, 2-2 with Cam. So it's hard to say. Do I think last week was because of rust? Not at all. Not even close.
Really?
I think he just looked confused. You know what I'm saying? And some of it's like, hey, you need to, and now that I think it could be more the meeting where it's hard to meet in person because of the cold. They had to stay out of the deal. I don't think it's the practice. Like, man, if you can't play a game, I think I'd be fine not practicing a practice and playing a game.
It's interesting because I feel like, Will, maybe but I feel like Belichick was even sort of hinting that the uncertainty of last week really threw them off.
I think it's yes, and he did. But like, as a player, it doesn't matter. Now, I will say this, and my buddy Matt Slauson, he said it matters for offensive linemen. Well, that's because they're in unison. I don't think receivers. I think it's great to get timing and stuff, but I mean, I don't think they lost because of that. I think they lost because, man, they kind of sucked against the Broncos.
They played terrible.
They played really bad, and I felt like it's just going to be interesting. I think Josh McDaniels is phenomenal, and I think some of the schemes that he's had through the first Well, 4 out of the 5 weeks. It's hard to say with when Cam wasn't in there on that other was it the Chiefs game?
Yes.
Yeah. I think he's done some amazing things. Their offense, everyone said like they're going to be like, oh, New England system this, New England system that. It's like they don't have a system. They have a coach that tries to do his best to put the 11 players in a very good situation. That's what he's trying to do, because this offense that he's calling this year is the same exact system when Tom was there. It's just he's tailoring it to the players.
Right.
And I think he's done a good job of making his system look completely different and like a completely different offense.
How difficult is it? This is for the 49ers, their third East Coast game. And actually, I think for the Giants game, which was 1 week after the Jets game, they stayed out east. But how difficult is it to go across the country and play? We as fantasy analysts try to figure, it could be tough for them.
East Coast start time for this.
Yeah.
West.
Oh my gosh. You know, it's funny being in San Diego. I don't know how many, we had tons, and it's different, but like we were used to it. I mean, you fly out on Friday instead of Saturday. Some ways it's awesome because you just kind of chill a little bit. Then Saturday's an all-day chill, and besides your walkthrough and your meetings. So like, I don't see it. I mean, I don't see like it, and maybe that's because I didn't feel like it affected me.
Mm-hmm.
You get used to it. Now 3 in a row.
Wasn't 3 in a row. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
You're also not like some 45-year-old hungover dad, like getting up in the
right. Yeah,
like an athlete in his prime,
Yeah, like if
3-hour wake up,
or if my dad who's 61, if like he's like, oh man, I've got to go play a football game at 61,
right.
And I'm gonna miss out on some of my sleep. That might be a little bit difficult.
Right.
They don't have. Last time I checked, they don't have any 61-year-old receivers though.
Oh, that was a good throw by Jimmy.
Like that's just he's not a 61-year-old receiver.
Right.
Dude, how about
Larry Fitzgerald might be 60.
Yeah.
There's a chance. And how is he still doing that? And he still looks like he's like 20.
It's crazy, man.
Yeah, he does. How about Stephon Gilmore covering George Kittle right there?
Well, I wouldn't say
George Kittle. Well, whatever you want to call it. George Kittle is a beast.
Really
yeah.
He is one of the best football players there is.
Yeah.
Like he does everything. We had him on our podcast, and he's
a really nice guy and hilarious too.
So great. But the thing that I was so impressed with is he enjoyed pushing a guy off the line 4 or 5 yards more than a touchdown. And you're like, people aren't made like that anymore.
Right.
They're all about themselves. And it's like, he loved pushing someone off the line, and their running back getting a 20-yard gain or something like that. That juiced him about as much as anything. And that's
he's like pure Iowa.
Oh gosh. Yes. If
like even down to like the blocking, like he gets off on blocking, which is a very Iowa thing.
Right. And his hair. Right.
Yeah.
Like,
oh yeah.
And just the, I mean, I'm not saying he's an ugly person. I'm just saying his hair, his facial hair, it just screams football.
Yeah.
It screams cold weather football, even though he's in San Francisco.
So how would you compare him? Do you compare him to Gronkowski? Does he remind you of Gronkowski?
He in different ways. I feel like his route running is different because he runs a few more. Gronk did a lot more overs and seams.
Yeah,
he ran some Y options, but Kittle does some more shorter area stuff, and he's really good at it, which not a ton of tight ends are. I mean, you had Gates, who was phenomenal at it. And there's a few others, whereas like Kelsey does a lot of he can do a few of the, return routes, but he does a lot of the Gronk stuff, the seams, the over routes, things that were the corner routes, the things of that nature. So I think they're different, but as far as like football player, I see them very similar because Gronk had no problem blocking, and he was going to do as well as he could. Whereas, man, I know this is super unbelievable, but a lot of really good receiving tight ends are like a burning trash bag at blocking. You know, like it's a dumpster fire at blocking, and they're okay with it. Like they don't care at all.
We have Vernon Davis coming on in like 15 minutes.
Yes, Vernon Davis. But now I never played with him. He was someone I did respect too. Like he would block also.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you guys are having him on then.
So not a burning dumpster fire.
No, but there are some guys now, they're almost like receivers, right?
Right.
Where they don't give an effort. And it's like, and I'm not going to name names, but you're like, oh, come on, man. Like, I don't even care if you block.
Did you play?
Just-
Anybody?
Just maybe just get in front of them.
Yeah. And the thing about Kittle to me too is that because of his blocking, like I think he is the fulcrum for the 49ers offense because they can do all their like play action stuff. And he can run the same, he can do the same thing on a play where you're doing play action, where you're running. It helps to like his abilities help to disguise a lot of that offense.
Yeah. And you can kind of do anything.
Right.
And the other thing is it does, I don't want to say transfer, how do I want it, but like him being a leader, people are going to follow that. So it's like, all right, the expectation is I got to do what's best for the team. I have to do what's best for the team because if George Kittle, who's getting, I don't remember his contract, but it's dumb millions of dollars.
Yeah.
Like I can do that at, a rookie minimum or whatever it may be. He's the leader. I mean, obviously he's a captain and people are going to follow that. So I think that's huge having your star like that.
There's one bad pass, Will.
That's not good.
Interception by Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah. Deb.
You're smiling at James.
Yeah. Not so good. Not so good.
But I'll tell you what, if Cam gets in the end zone, I started him this week and I didn't.
Drew Lock rushing touchdown.
Drew Lock in the snow.
I couldn't tell who was in. Did you see who was in? I feel like it was Royce Freeman. Is that possible, Will?
It is very possible.
Trying to figure out their running back rotation. Very frustrating stuff, Danny, figuring out running back rotation.
Bro, how bad was it? Now, I'm sure it is still. But when I was in New England, like, I never knew if I was playing. It's like there would be weeks where I'm like, I'm not getting any reps. And then I had like 2 touchdowns. I'm like, what is going on? New England is the most frustrating. So it's funny because fantasy people would be like, so are you playing this week? And I'd read it on Twitter and I want to be like, bro, I don't know either. Like, that's how it's frustrating for you. Well, this is my profession. It's frustrating for me. Like, I have no clue if I'm playing.
You would be inactive at times or just like not?
No,
playing?
But I'm just saying like how many reps I was going to get. Yeah, there'd be games I'd be like, I think I'm going to get a lot of burn. And I play 15 plays and I'm like, what? Like, what just happened? Like, where are we?
Like, do you have to just kind of stay in line and just not say anything? Or what?
I think that's just New England. You just stay ready. It doesn't matter. And you don't really ask questions.
We got a question from Twitch. 1 sec. Sorry, Will.
You're fine.
From Dub Rugger. What did you prefer?
Great name.
On? Yeah. Grass or turf, and why? And do you feel injuries happen more on one than the other?
Yeah, I feel like injuries happen way more on turf. Depending on the day. There's some days it's like, let's get on turf because maybe they're not as fast as us. You know what I'm saying? Whereas you're already, if it's a team that, is slow, then it's like grass is fine. Grass is fine. But if you need to get open or in someone, maybe it's not so much that was a terrible, I meant the opposite. But if it's people that can move well, or if it's rain, I want to be on turf because I can plant and go. And I felt like it was a lot harder to cover me on turf.
Yeah.
But it just sucks getting tackled on. And yes, I do believe there's more injuries. Grass is just, if you have a good grass, it's awesome. Like if you're in Jacksonville, the San Diego grass was good earlier in the year. Pittsburgh grass was trash. The worst field at Cleveland sucked. Like, but I'm saying like those grass, like you get the Tampa Bay, great. Miami sucked because there was always seams in it. Like it was terrible. But as far as like the grass down there, it was just easier to plant and go. Kansas City wasn't bad.
You played on the dirt, right? We talked about like the infield dirt.
I played only in Oakland. I did. That was now. If there's a worse place to play than Oakland, California, because of that, I mean, it was like you're getting tackled on concrete. It was the grass was fine, but when you have the infield open like that, there's absolutely nothing worse.
Ooh, Cam with a bad miss right there. That does not sound fun. Where the hell did Will go? I'm like waiting for Will to jump in. This is like Will just keeps disappearing.
Hey, by the way, on that, like if you hear Dan Orlovsky, I don't know if you're familiar with him. He works for
sure,
but he's an unbelievable
great
quarterback analyst, unreal. The thing that he's talked about is Cam. It's like he doesn't set his feet, and it's tough to be accurate. I don't know if you've already watched the instant replay, but he just doesn't set his feet very often.
Yeah.
Now I don't know this because I don't throw the ball ever, but he's one analyst that I like trust, and you see it and you're like, yeah, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. And right. I did. I mean, I did notice it there. I'm surprised they called roughing the passer on that. That was pretty interesting.
That was kind of petty, right?
It was kind of.
I don't want to act like I know. By the way, Rex Burkhead's a really good running back.
Is he?
Oh my gosh. That's the other frustrating thing about New England. It's like, I think James White's awesome, but they're two different backs. Like, I think he's their best running back. That's not a James White type. You know what I mean?
Oh, interesting. Because we want to see more from Damian Harris. We in the fantasy community want to see more from Damian Harris.
He's all right. I think he's solid. I just think Burkhead brings so much because he does both. Because he can run angle routes, he can run wheel routes, he can. Now I'm also talking as a defensive coordinator, so I'm not talking as a fantasy owner. I'm talking as like what I would not want to see.
And it's really interesting that whenever James White plays, Burkhead doesn't really seem to catch a lot of balls. Like they kind of take him out of that role.
They do
have that versatility. Yes,
they do, and I think. I mean, that's the problem too with New England, though. They have so many options.
Yeah, and
it complicates things for the running back, but it ruins a defensive coordinator because you think a certain guy is going to play more than the other, and you have no idea. Kind of like we had no idea.
Right. If you don't know, the defensive coordinator probably doesn't know either.
Good point.
Exactly. Did Will just like evaporate and then just come back? That was amazing.
My son came up and told me that the iPad has 14%.
Oh gosh. No. Could you imagine it getting to 14?
14. I know. I was like, well, why don't you just come get me when it's at 5? He's like, no, right now.
The funniest thing is, as a dad, you're like, oh no, 14%. What do I do? Like, where's the closest charger?
Yeah. As myself, I'm like, 14% on my phone. That'll last me another few hours.
Oh my gosh, Nikhil. Oh, Harry just got murdered.
Let me get another Twitch question for you here from.
I would love that.
What was your favorite stadium to play at as a visiting team? Is it based on the grass, the fans, or the city?
I think the fans or just like the environment.
Yeah.
Kansas City and Seattle were probably my two favorites.
Yeah, that's cool. I think we talked about that a little bit.
Yeah. Those two definitely are my favorites.
Speaking of Kansas City, they're playing Denver. So speaking of Denver,
wait, can I have a follow-up question before you give the Chiefs update?
Yeah, no. I just wanted to know about playing in the snow and what that was like. But go ahead, Will.
Well, I'm curious. So, like, when you guys would go for games on the road, would you? Because you know what I mean, like you're trying to prepare for the game, so you don't want to like go out and like eat a huge hamburger or whatever. I would guess, but like,
right?
Would you indulge in the local cuisines aggressively when you would travel, or were you guys like were you more regimented? Because like when I travel, I'm gonna go like find the best like local food. Like if I go to Kansas City, I'm gonna just stuff my face with barbecue.
It was more. I mean, did we get barbecue when we went to Kansas City? Yes, we did. Right. But for the most part, it was like we'd usually get like steak. You know, we'd go out and have steak, and I usually would go with like the quarterbacks in the offensive line. And
did I ask you this last time?
And you won the eating contest, right?
Did you?
Yeah, definitely. Without a doubt. By the way, I hate
go to the Derby with Tom Brady.
No, I never went to the Derby with Tom Brady. I wasn't cool. Well, I think I was already in San Diego by the time they were doing that.
Maybe so. So, and by the way, Azer's is already sick and tired of me. You can tell, like I'm normally like spacey and all over the place anyway. I'm like really spacey today. I mean,
I will be like 75% through a sentence, and Will's like, "Oh, hey, by the way," with his totally different question.
Yeah, and I didn't like.
It's like my brain is just like it's like a squirrel running. It's like, oh, look, a squirrel. Like, ooh.
I hated playing in the snow. By the way, you started to ask that question, and I didn't really like it. Rain sucked if it was a grass field. If it's turf, it's fine. Snow was actually okay as long as it wasn't a lot of snow. So when I say I hate it, I'm thinking of like there's snow on the field. Yeah. Like that sucks because then it gets stuck in your cleats and it's just a constant annoyance. Like it's annoying. And it doesn't fit my game. Is it
hard to? Yeah, I mean,
because it fits. Snow fits electric football is what it fits. It's like, oh, we're running 34 ISO. Like it's a bulldozer. It's like boring It's like Big Ten football, right? Outside of Ohio State.
Right.
And I just
Kittle ball.
Yeah, it's not enjoyable for me because I rely more on my quickness and my speed and the ability to separate in routes. So that if anything, that hurts my chances.
Ozzy says Will is at 15%, needs to get charged up.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't feeling very well today when I woke up, and to solve that problem, I had my wife. I ordered a patty melt and onion rings from a local spot here, and
did that get you going ish?
No, it sort of crippled me.
I thought you were going to say like Pedialyte or something.
No, that would have been now I'm just drinking.
That would have been responsible.
Yeah, now I have another beer.
Danny, I think you got to hop. I appreciate your time. I know you got to hop off. So we wish we could have you on for longer. Thank you so much for coming on. Any final thoughts here? 7-3 on the board.
No, I don't really, because I'm not really sure how this is going to go. Jimmy G, I think Jimmy G's solid. I think a couple weeks ago his ankle hurt him more than we would have liked to know. Mm-hmm. I think the Niners are still ballers. Shanahan's awesome, but I think I want to say New England's going to make the playoffs, but right now I don't really know because of the freaking AFC North right now is going to have everyone at 12-4.
Tell us one more time about your podcast.
Yeah, so it's the Out of Nowhere podcast with Matt Slauson and myself. You can check it out at OON Pod, either on Instagram, Twitter. You can check out my Twitter, Instagram if you want, just because then you can find some of the stuff there. I don't always tweet about it, but every once in a while I will. So if you ever have a little bit of time to listen to two former players talk football and talk nonsense and interview a bunch of kind of cool people, check it out. We don't take ourselves too serious at all.
Where were you?
Have Will on.
Where were you playing golf? Who would you play golf with recently? Did you play golf with no laying up guys?
Oh yeah, I did.
How awesome are they? Incredible.
Yeah, they're like, well, they're unbelievable at what they do.
Yeah.
But as far as like as dudes, they're awesome guys. Like very down to earth people.
Where'd y'all play?
Sweetens Cove.
Oh man, I've been wanting to play there. Aren't the green tiny?
It depends. No, they're actually not that small now that I think back. But you got to check it out if you ever want to just go have a lot of fun on a golf course, because it's very playable.
Yeah.
You got to hit it up.
Okay.
It's unreal.
We're planning a golf trip now, and that's one of the ones we're looking at.
Let me see your face.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, Danny. Thank you.
Alrighty.
Thanks for your time, man.
See you, buddy.
Hey, thanks for having me, fellas. What's up, Vern? How you doing?
Hey guys.
What's up, Vernon?
Danny Woodhead saying what's up to you.
What's up, brother?
Danny Woodhead.
Hey, how you doing, bro?
Hey, how's this background? Is this too bright for you guys?
Oh, that's beautiful. I love it.
Looks fire. Hey, have a good one, fellas. We'll talk to you later. Later, Vern.
Hey, Dan.
Checking out, and Vernon Davis joining us here and making me like kind of envious. Now I feel like I'm trapped in this like closet of an office that I have.
But now you can't see.
That is a little bit too bright, actually. We can't really see.
Right. Oh yeah, we have to turn it around. Too bright. Hold on, guys.
All right. Well, we'll get it fixed. I'll give a
Hey,
score
that
update real quick. It's 7-3 49ers here early on in the second quarter, and they're driving, approaching midfield.
Oh, Tom to Gronk.
Oh, Gronkowski. 3 catches for 51 yards. All right. That's Will Brinson. I'm Adam Azer, and here is Vernon Davis joining us on the Home Team Watch Party presented by Lowe's. Thanks for coming on. How you doing?
Oh, good. How are you guys?
We're doing great. We had a great talk with Danny Woodhead. We talked about George Kittle. We talked about tight ends, and now we get to talk to a tight end.
It's National Tight End Day.
It is
National Tight End Day, really?
That's what George Kittle named it, and they were celebrating it on the CBS pregame show. So
Really?
Happy Tight End Day.
Nice. Well, I'm proud to be a part of this National Tight End Day.
Yeah. Can you talk to us about Kittle? Woodhead's pretty blown away by just how awesome he is and how much he takes pride in his blocking. What do you see when you look at him? And Gronkowski just caught a touchdown, by the way. So how about I'll start with a better question. Removing yourself from the discussion, are Rob Gronkowski and George Kittle going to end their careers as the 2 greatest tight ends in NFL history?
Robert, I feel good. Well, I like both of those guys. I like Kittle. I like Gronk. I think they're amazing tight ends, and to be able to know that we have tight ends like them, I mean, it's very inspirational for a lot of young guys coming in behind them. And I enjoy watching them. I think they're 2 of the best. Kittle will probably be in that same group as the best to ever do it. But we know about Gronkowski. We know where he is and what he's been able to do during his time playing. But I'm honored to be able to know those guys and to be a part of the tight end family.
They're terrific. And what kind of a tight end were you? Like how much of your game was blocking? How much was was receiving? If you could, split it into 100%, 50-50, what kind of tight end were you, would you say?
I'd say majority of a pass catcher. At this time and age, it's all about having that hybrid tight end that can block, that can catch passes, that can do it all. And that's what guys like Tony Gonzalez, Kellen Winslow Sr., they paved the way for us to be able to do that. And that's what we're looking for. We need guys like George Kittle and Gronkowski to be able to flex them out wide, put them in the slot. I mean, pretty much put them everywhere. And put them in the backfield, hand them the ball. They're really dynamic, and that's the new wave. That's the new generation of tight ends. So that's what it's all about nowadays.
Yeah, you ran a 4.39 or something coming out of Maryland, right?
4.39, yes.
Yeah, that's pretty fast.
That's pretty good, man. All right, so we're watching this game here. We asked Danny Woodhead some questions I want to get your opinion on as well. First of all, did you see the hit on Andy Dalton today?
Andy Dalton, I saw the highlights.
You saw the helmet-to-helmet hit?
Yeah.
What was your take on that? I mean, and I know you were also an offensive player, but how difficult is it to play defense these days? Was that a dirty play? Like, what was your whole take on that situation, the helmet-to-helmet hit?
Yeah, well, I think anytime right now the NFL has done the best they can to make sure that we're safe, right? And that's first and foremost, making sure guys are safe. They can go out there and they can play and be able to come out of the game injury-free. But unfortunately, it's hard to stop those helmet-to-helmet collisions because when guys, just the competitive nature of a football player, an athlete in general, right? You're trying to make a play. You're not trying to really hurt someone or hit them helmet-to-helmet. It just happens that way because of the aggression of the sport. And yeah, we can come up with all these rules and give all these fines, but unless we remove the helmet, you're not going to really be cognizant of hitting that guy with helmet-to-helmet collision, right? Because you have this helmet on, so you feel it's okay. Subconsciously in your mind, we've been taught from the beginning of the game, as a kid playing this game, you hit people and you hit them hard, right? So it's going to be tough to really implement that. It's just tough. It's just hard.
Do you think that the NFL's doing the right thing? Or do you think they've gone too far? What do you think?
No. I think they're doing a beautiful job as trying to, keep guys safe. Yes, and making it aware of what can happen, right? What can really happen if you from a safety standpoint, as well as letting guys know you'll be fine, right? And we want to protect each other. I don't feel like no one's out to like really hurt someone and damage them through a helmet to helmet collision. Sometimes it can be with the purpose to hit this guy helmet to helmet to just get revenge on a guy that you want to making have an impact on. You know what I mean? Or it cannot be that way. But subconsciously, like I said from the beginning of the time, we were programmed to hit as a defensive player. You hit hard, and unfortunately, we're in a tough spot. You're in a tough spot as a defensive player because you're just trying to make the play.
And like it feels like I would say like 90% of the time, like you're saying, Vernon, like the intent isn't really to like hard. Like today with that Bostic hit, that was really bad. I mean, like Dalton. I'm not saying he was like trying to hurt Andy Dalton or like permanently, injure him or anything like that. But like you have to sort of like, I mean, there's a code out there too, right? Like you have to respect, you try to respect your fellow players, like, livelihood. Like you don't want to take a shot that might put him at risk, right?
Right. Yeah. Absolutely. And I don't think guys are that malicious to go out there and try to harm someone in that kind of way. You at the end of the day, you're just playing football. You know what I mean? And I think we have to do all as an upper management, the NFL, meaning them who set all the statutes and put everything in place. I think they need to just continue to reinforce and reiterate what we're supposed to do as players, especially on the defensive side, making the play. You know what I mean? And offensive too. We shouldn't lower our head when trying to run someone over. We have to be cognizant of that as well.
You had a 14-year NFL career. What do you think, if you could pick one thing, what do you think changed the most over those 14 years in terms of the way the game was played?
I think over the 14-year span in the NFL that I had, I think they've gotten better as far as protecting players. I can see that. And the game has evolved from athleticism standpoint. Guys are getting better. The pass rushers are getting faster. They're getting they're quicker. They're more crafty. You know what I mean? The linebackers are shorter. They're not as big as they used to be. They're not like Ray Lewis and those big players. They're faster. They're quicker. They're starting to be, these linebackers are starting to be able to run with tight ends now. They can run. Some of them can run with wide receivers. If you're talking about a Patrick Willis or a Navarro Bowman, it's just evolving, and the safety of the game.
Yeah, and the quarterbacks can run so well now too. Right, the quarterbacks are taking off. So you've played with like so many great players, so many great coaches. Played for Sean McVay, Jim Harbaugh, Greg Roman, like setting up that offense for Colin Kaepernick, and then on to Tyrod Taylor, and now to Lamar Jackson. There's so many interesting things about your career, but I wanted to ask you about some of the coaches you play with and some of the offensive schemes you play with, and who really stood out to you in terms of the offensive minds that you were surrounded by.
I'm gonna my two favorite offensive coordinators will probably be Sean McVay and Greg Roman. They were unique. I'm gonna go with Greg. Greg Roman was this type of guy. He loved tight ends. He loved doing coming up with cool plays. Every offense coordinator liked to keep a trick play every game, like one or two trick plays, right? You have to have those. And Greg Roman was the mastermind at that. He always was. He was very strategic. Every time you saw him, he always had an idea, right? And usually we go with that idea on game day. I applaud him for his effort of being able to be a genius when it comes to the offensive coordinators. And Sean McVay, he's one of the guys that never stopped talking about football. He will remind me of plays that I had back in 2006, 2007. He was a genius. You knew he was going to be special just by the way he lived and breathed football. He was awesome to work with, and my memories with him been nothing but amazing.
I have a question related to the 49ers. So when Harbaugh showed up, it completely changed y'all's 49ers team. Sorry. And I've always had this theory that what he did with Alex Smith was like the home makeover shows, or like the, you know, like the guy comes in, he's like, because Alex Smith used to wear a Padres hat in San Francisco, and like it drove fans nuts. And when Harbaugh took over, he stopped wearing the Padres hat. And I think he even might have started wearing a San Francisco Giants hat. And my theory is that Jim Harbaugh did this like full makeover of Alex Smith, and it changed his mentality and caused him to become a better quarterback. Is there any validity to that?
You know what? I'm going to say that Harbaugh, he can change anyone. I mean, he's just the man for the job when it comes to being a coach and a leader and a motivator. He was really solid at that. And I think what happened is that, you know, everyone bought into his system. You buy in, you know, and that was his job, to go there, come to San Francisco and get these guys to buy into what I'm trying to do. And Alex Smith bought in, the rest of the team bought in, and together everyone was able to elevate their game. And that's what we did. That's what you saw. You saw all guys who bought in, who was able to elevate at the same time, just grow as players and grow as teammates.
So, and the thing, Harbaugh, like, I remember when he first got hired by the Niners, and I went to the combine, and they used to do it where instead of having they would have a couple of coaches go at once, and they'd be split out around the room inside the food pavilion area at the concourse. And so like you could sit down and like have like 4 or 5 reporters around like a coach. And Harbaugh, you know, he's a big name, but he's not like, wasn't like polarizing maybe like he is now. And I just remember talking to him. The way he looks at you when you're talking to him and engaging with him in conversation is absolutely terrifying. Like, you don't know if he's going to like pat you on the back or like jump off the podium and like tackle you. He just looks like and I don't mean this in a bad way, but he just looks crazy. Like, you feel like anything is possible with Jim Harbaugh. And I think I mean that as a compliment.
No, everyone says that. I've heard that before, but that's just who he is. It's part of who he is. He's creative. He's a coach. He loves what he does. He takes pride in it. He enjoys it.
Do you think that I also have another theory about Harbaugh, that he has, instead of pants and shirts, he actually has like onesies. It's like a khaki onesie with like his little black polo shirt. Is that possible?
You know, I don't know. Maybe not. He just he loved his khakis, man.
I love Harbaugh, for the record. I'm not surprised that you guys would all buy in on with him because of the way that he is. He's so motivational.
He's great. He was very awesome, man. Awesome coach, awesome guy. I mean, he's one of the highlights of my life, my career. He was just so amazing.
Did his message get stale? Like, what happened? You know, why did it end up kind of going south?
No, the nature of the business. It happens, right? Just because a coach comes in and all of a sudden he changes the culture of the team, he changes the dynamics of the organization. Everyone loves him. He's a great coach. He's probably the best coach in the world to some people, right? But it's not set in stone. It's not anything that's set in stone once you come saying that if you're going to be this coach, then we're always going to be with you, right? We're always going to keep you here. No, the organization and the coach can sometimes have friction. Not only can they have friction, but it's not going to always work out the way everyone wants it to work out. It's not going to go Harbaugh's way. It's not going to go the organization's way. There may come a time where they want to part ways. And we have to understand that. It's the nature of the business. And that's what happened with Harbaugh and the San Francisco 49ers. They just thought it was best to go in a different direction, right? And it's okay. It happens. You know, it happens that way. It happens.
Yeah. And for you, you got traded mid-season to the Broncos, won a Super Bowl. And the Chiefs, by the way, just picked off Drew Lock and took it to the house. Speaking of the Broncos, but yeah, can you tell us about that? Like, how did that trade develop?
Well, I remember waking up that morning and the general manager called me in, Trent Balk. He was like, "Hey, can you come see me?" I knew something was wrong because the way his tone. So I go in, I sit down, and he tells me that they're going to trade me. Yeah. Next thing I know, I was frustrated because I think I've been in the organization for forever. You know, as a player, that's how you think, because they drafted me and I was with them for 10 years. So I ended up being
You're 31 at the time. You've been there forever.
Yeah, I was there for a long time. But like I said, we can go back to the nature, it being the nature of the business, right? Is you move on, you're in an organization, then all of a sudden you move on and you go in another direction, which is okay. I understand it, and that's how it works. But I had zero. I didn't have any hard feelings for the 49ers. I love them till this day. I think they were one of the best organizations I've ever played for. Their family, and I'm always going to be red and gold for the rest of my life.
But so you're obviously you're angry at first, and then the transition going to Denver. At what point were you okay with it? Obviously, it worked out great. You get to play with Peyton Manning, and Osweiler was part of that too. But yeah, like it's how long did it take you to kind of get comfortable with it and happy about it, I guess?
Yeah, I think after the first week of being traded, I had to come to the realization that this team just wanted to go in a different direction. Same way they wanted to go in a different direction with Coach Harbaugh. Like it happens, so I had to come to an agreement with that. And then I just continued to play football, just continue to do what I love doing. And there couldn't have been a better opportunity for me than being traded to the Denver Broncos. It all worked out. It was supposed to happen. Everything, I'm a firm believer in whatever's supposed to happen for you is going to happen regardless of anything. And if you just hope for the best, prepare for the worst, sky's the limit.
What did you guys on the Broncos sideline think about Cam, since he's playing right now, and jumping on the football in the Super Bowl, that last minute play that he got grilled about following the thing? Were you guys discussing that on the sideline too?
No, I don't think I think people had their different discussions on the sideline, but I didn't really think it. I was just so in the moment. I was just so in awe of being at the Super Bowl, because that's the moment in San
Francisco, no less.
Yeah, I mean, it was fantastic. So I was in the moment. I didn't really think anything about it, but I'm sure there were guys along the sidelines gossiping about it, which is a normal thing.
Okay. Was that kind of sweet? That didn't occur to me, and I was at that game, but it didn't occur to me until just now that you went to San Francisco and won the Super Bowl. Is that sort of that's pretty
pretty
a pretty
awesome.
cool little like twist to that, right?
Yeah, it seems like I went somewhere for about 3 months and came back, and I was in.
That's right.
Here I go. I'm still in the same state. Hey guys, I'll be on my way out. I was being traded. Hey guys, I'll see you guys in a couple months.
That's not what they were expecting, I would guess.
Yeah, they wasn't expecting it.
Touchdown, Justin Herbert.
Yeah, Justin Herbert. So Chargers score there. They are going to be up 16-0 over the Jaguars. Vernon, what are your early impressions of this NFL season? Anything really jump out to you? Any teams jumping out to you?
You know what? A lot of teams are jumping out, but this season has been totally unexpected for sure. I would have thought the Washington football team was going to have a much better record than they have at the moment, because of the talent that they have in their roster and the coach they brought in. I just thought it was going to go a different direction for the best. But I mean, look, it is what it is. I feel like those guys, they're not done with the season. So anything that they do in a positive way, as far as winning and putting points on the board can be beneficial for them, and it could be great for them. It's not how you start, it's how you finish. If they finish strong, everything will be okay in that organization, and they can have that momentum and ride it into the next season.
Right, and they just beat the life out of the Cowboys today. They crushed them. But I guess it was a little surprising to hear you say you thought they'd be better with the talent they have, because I think most people thought they'd be bad. But we all acknowledge they got a ton of talent up front defensively. McLaurin's a great player. We all thought it'd be Haskins right now. So there's a report that they are thinking about trading him. What do you think about Dwayne Haskins and his future?
Well, from playing with Dwayne Haskins, I mean, in practice, we had a lot of opportunities to connect in practice, and I thought he has everything that the best quarterbacks in the league has. I mean, I'm talking Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, those guys. He has it. His ability to get the ball from point A to point B really fast and in the most accurate way. He can do that. He can get in and out of the pocket. He's a big guy. He keeps his eyes. I love, and he did this in college, keeping his eyes downfield, even when the opposing teams was coming at him defensively. He would always stay focused, stay poised, and that's what most good quarterbacks do. And he's a young guy. All young guys, they're a work in progress. And I think whatever happens to him, whether he's traded, whether he stays with the Washington football team, I think everything is going to work out for him if he's a true professional, if he's a true pro, meaning going in every day, getting there before everyone else is there, working on his game, working on his craft, and just being everything that he needs to be for his team. Sky's the limit for the young man. I think he's going to do awesome if he continues to do that.
Why do you suppose they benched him?
You know what? I don't know. I'm not in the locker room. I don't know what was happening. I don't know if it had anything to do with anything else. I have no idea. But I'm going to say this: if Haskins is watching this and he's listening to me, I think that he needs to stay ready, stay motivated, stay inspired, because he can use this for his good. Everything that we look at that may seem negative at the moment will turn out to be positive later on. But you just have to have an optimistic mindset and know that you can use this for your good. And if he knows that, like I said before, sky's the limit for the young man.
Dude, your 49ers are crushing it right now. Another touchdown here. What's the score, Will? 17-3? Or
17-3. They are rolling them. Cam threw a bad pick. And then
Cam threw a pick?
Punched one in.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, Cam threw a pick around midfield, and then the 49ers punched one in.
Kyle Juszczyk, man.
I don't know that the Patriots are necessarily built to storm back from a big deficit.
Yeah, I don't think. 16-3. We got ahead of ourselves. They missed the extra point.
Hey, Vernon, what happened with the Niners against the Dolphins 2 weeks ago?
Yeah,
That was it was like they were so banged up and just got blasted by Ryan Fitzpatrick. It was a shocking. And then they come back and handle the Rams, and now they're taking care of business against the Pats. It's shocking.
Yeah, it is. It is. I don't know. It happens that way, man. Like I said, this league this year is totally unexpected. There's a lot of things going on in this league that we wasn't prepared for, but it's still exciting to watch. And we have the opportunity to turn on our television and watch football on Sundays, which is unbelievable, because we didn't even, the way things are going right now, we didn't think that would be happening. Right?
Yeah. I mean, we didn't know we didn't know we'd have sports.
Exactly. We didn't know that. We didn't know that at all. Yeah. So it's pretty cool that I can that we can turn on television and watch. Yeah. And I can sit here in my house and I can keep my little red stretchy band and stretch my pecs and shoulders. It feels so good.
Why did Tom Brady spike the ball with 40 seconds left on second?
I don't know. I'm not seeing that. So Vernon, what I was so impressed with the 49ers, they lose Garoppolo, Mostert, Bosa, etc. Richard Sherman. I mean, they're arguably the most injured team when you look at the significance of their injuries. And they just go destroy the Giants. They beat the Jets, they beat the Giants, and okay, whatever. This is Jets and the Giants, but they're just a well-oiled machine. To what do you attribute that to? Just organizationally, they appear to be so strong. What is it about the 49ers that they keep rolling even with all those injuries? I know they're not 6-0 or anything, but I think they've done pretty well given the circumstances.
Well, first of all, I want to compliment Mr. Lynch over there. We all know about him. We know about his playing days, how amazing he was. But not only was he an amazing football player, he's also good at what he's doing over there with bringing in this talent. It starts there, because without the talent, you're not able to put together this strong nucleus. And what they've done is they went out and got the best players. Not only have they gotten the best players, but they got the best people in the locker room. That's how it starts. You have to have guys who are great players, but can also be inspirational to the other guys they have, like Garoppolo. You have Kittle. You have guys like Trent Williams that they just brought in. I mean, these are all guys that are good people. Not only are they good people, they're good football players, and they're very inspirational. So you need that kind of stability. It's all about stability. And that's what they have over there. That's why they're able to stay so strong, even when they have guys that are going down on the field.
I forgot Kittle was another one that got injured. And so we as football outsiders don't get a very positive picture painted of the Washington organization from all the media reports and whatnot. Right. What was your impression of Washington?
My impression with Washington was nothing but amazing. I mean, the upper management, I mean, the front office, they were truly amazing to me. They were good people, treated the players with the utmost respect, and they made sure we had everything we needed, from recovery to meals to just everything. So I don't have any negative energy or anything bad to say about it. I know they had their issues, and everyone has their issues, and I know they're going to do. Dan Snyder, if I know him the way I do, I know that he's going to do everything that he can to shine some good light on that organization and get them back to where they deserve to be, which is in good standing with everyone.
So Dan Snyder, you make a case for him because he's obviously like kind of just has a bad reputation, I'd say, just, from media reports, but it doesn't seem like you feel that way.
No, I don't feel that way. I think he's great. I think he's awesome. I'm not saying that because we went to the same university, but I'm saying that because of my experience with him. He's a stand-up guy, man. He's a gentleman. He's a stand-up guy. He loves his players. He loves his organization. I mean, I think we just need to get to know him and know who he is. And once you understand who he is, then you'll love him. He's an artist. He's a creator. He's awesome.
All right, Will, I got 2 more questions for Vernon, then we're going to let him jump out of here. I got to ask you about Alex Smith because you played with him in 2 different spots. And wow, what an incredible story to see him back. And then I know you got a movie coming out, I believe, and I want you to tell us about that. So first, tell us about Alex Smith and what it's like to see him playing football again.
First, I want to say cheers about talking about my movie. So cheers, riff it up.
All right.
Well, what was that? Was that an energy drink? Was that a?
Dude, this is the most amazing stuff ever. This company has found a way to use coffee fruit. So when coffee seed comes out of the fruit, they throw the fruit away, and it's so toxic for the environment. So this company is all about stability and social equity. Not only are they saving the environment, they also giving local farmers an opportunity to have.
Say it again. What is it?
They're giving local farmers. They're giving farmers an opportunity to have income. Giving them creating job opportunities for farmers.
What was the name of the
fruit of coffee? It's called Riff Alter Ego.
Riff Alter Ego. Okay.
Yeah. Natural energy, low in sugar, and you're saving the environment. I love it, man.
You have to use the stretchy band for your chest while you drink it? Is that part of it?
You know what? I still use my stretchy band when I'm drinking my Riff.
Perfect exercise.
Are you in DC right now? I noticed there's a lack of high rises.
No, I'm in Los Angeles. I'm still in LA.
Oh, okay, never mind. Cool. I didn't know if you'd, because I know you, because you're from DC, right? And then
I'm from Washington D.C., but I've been in LA. Dancing with the Stars put me up here in LA, so I'm still here.
All right, and movies, obviously, LA makes sense. So tell us about Smith in the movies.
Yeah, so Alex Smith. Well, let me first say that from being with Alex Smith since San Francisco, I watched everything. I watched him being benched by Coach Singletary to even being benched by Jim Harbaugh. And this guy still kept going. I mean, he wasn't, just because he lost his job to Colin Kaepernick didn't mean he was going to give up. He went to Kansas City. We saw what he did over there. He's the most resilient, competitive, good, hardworking person I've ever met in my life. I mean, look at what he's doing now. No one thought he was going to make a comeback. He had the most catastrophic injury known to sports. I mean, I watched him. I watched them take the skin off his leg. I would go in the training room every morning, and his skin is off. They took the skin off his thigh and put it on the bottom part of his leg because he needed it. I watched his legs swell up to just being back to normal. I mean, it was crazy. It was the craziest thing ever. And to watch him go through that, I mean, this guy deserves all kinds of awards, man. Any award that we could think of, or, I mean, this given to the most resilient man known to man on earth. I mean, he deserves it. He deserves it.
I think there's a pretty good chance he could win Walter Payton Man of the Year. I don't know if because he does a lot of stuff off the field anyway. So it's not like you know what I mean? Like, it's not like they would just be giving it to him because he came back from the injury, but like, I could see him winning Comeback of the Year and the Walter Payton Award. Awesome.
I can see that too. I can see that as well. I mean, we have to give it to him. I mean, this dude almost lost. Not only did he almost
die, I mean, like, he could have lost his leg or like lost his life. It's insane.
Yeah, exactly. That's a movie in itself. I know you guys talk about movies, but that's a movie, man.
Yeah. The Alex Smith story. So wait, what's your movie?
I have a lot of projects that I'm working on right now. I don't know. I'm trying to. Yeah, a lot of projects. I got 2 films in particular that are coming out. It's called Red Winter. It's an indie film, and Message from Brianna is an indie film that I work with my partner who actually used to play in the NFL. His name's Deshaun Hardy. He's a pretty talented writer and director. So tons of film. I've been talking about some things with a partner of mine named Cindy Cowan here in LA, who's a phenomenal producer. She's an award-winning producer. So we have some things in the works. Just continuing to be creative, man, and putting it all together. I'm actually filming a movie called Chariot in Arkansas in January, on January 18th. So that's going to be a big one. That's going to be a big production, high budget,
Nice.
big production.
That's awesome. I mean, you're staying busy post football. Good for you. And it was really a pleasure talking to you. We learned a lot today. Thanks so much for coming on.
Oh, thanks for having me, guys. I really appreciate it.
All right. Appreciate it, Vernon. See you, buddy.
Cheers, guys.
See ya. Yeah, cheers, buddy.
All right. Vernon Davis joining us here, teaching us about a new beverage that we need to get our hands on.
I'm about to order some Riff Alter Ego.
Yeah, man. And some new movies that we need to check out as well. It is still 16-3 in that game. And we also had a big play in the Chiefs game as well, Will. What's catching your eye, Brinson?
I would say, and Vernon, I don't know if they can. Oh, there you go.
Yeah. I think people, they wait for the commercial break, and we always.
There's no commercial break. We do this for 3 straight hours.
Will and I mean, Will gets to go plug in iPads every now and then, but no commercial.
You take a pee break every week.
I think once.
Yeah.
I think, but I'm on my way.
You know who takes the shortest is the quickest urinator in the history of the planet? Ryan Wilson.
Really?
He can go. He'll be like, I got to. Like he has a very tiny bladder, but he can pee in like 15 seconds. It's insanely fast. Like he'll stand up, leave the podcast mid podcast, go to the bathroom, and be back on the podcast before you even like realize it. It's very bizarre.
Really? That's pretty.
Probably shouldn't know that much about Ryan peeing.
You learn so much about your fellow podcast hosts.
You really do, don't you?
Podcasts are just like, I tell these strangers that listen to our show things that I wouldn't even tell like my parents. It's just like
it is odd. Yes, I do the same thing.
It's just an open look into my soul.
Well, and you know what? It's kind of crazy. Like, so anybody who listens to either the Pick Six podcast or Fantasy Football Today, right? Inherently, like if you're a daily listener, you are like I am between your ears.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah. Like 7 hours a week. I mean,
it's hear a weird story, bro. I went to a Giants game 4 or 5 years ago. I don't know. I think I was still living in the city. So I went to a Giants game a while ago, and I'm walking through the parking lot talking with my wife, and someone recognized my voice. And it was Adam Azer. I'm like, hey, what's up? He's like, I just recognized your voice. I was like,
that is crazy. That is crazy.
Really weird.
Did you sign an autograph?
No, he did not want to talk to me at all. He was like, he just wanted to say hi and like be on his way. I thought we were gonna have like a minute or two conversation about fantasy football or something like that. He's like, hey, that was it.
There's nothing better than if you're out. This is kind of a douchey story, but I'll tell it anyway. We were out for brunch for my wife's birthday, like two years ago or something like that. And she was in a fight with this friend of hers. And she was like, I hope we see somebody famous here. That way, like, I'll make her jealous. And she was like, if we see a celebrity, she'll be so mad. I was like, you're with a celebrity. Right? She's like, that's the biggest loser comment you've ever made in your entire life. And like literally less than 5 minutes later, some guy comes over and goes, hey, oh my God, Will Brinson? And I was like, yes, suck it.
Oh, that is perfect. That is poetic. Yeah. I love it. I have no idea what's going on in these late games. So let's check in. 24-9. Does Patrick Mahomes really have 3 fantasy points? Is that real? Does Tyreek Hill really have 1 catch, or are these stats?
Byron Pringle had a long touchdown. I don't know.
On what? On a kickoff? It was a 102-yard kickoff return. They had a pick 6. Dude, like, this is a really crappy year for Tyreek Hill. He scored a touchdown in each of his first 5 games, but he's got 1 catch for 11 yards. It's not his fault. Patrick Mahomes is 6 of 9 for 94 yards. Le'Veon Bell and Clyde Edwards-Helaire have basically the same stats. Clyde has a touchdown and a target. So that's interesting. And Phillip Lindsay is crushing Melvin Gordon. I'm glad I sat Melvin Gordon, but Gordon was in at the goal line on the Drew Lock touchdown run. All right, so there's that game. Let's take a look at Jacksonville and the Chargers. Chargers 16, Jaguars 8. Weird score. And start of the week, Justin Herbert. Good start so far. He's got a 31-yard run. He's got 138 yards and a touchdown for 14 points. Minshew's still in the game. Will 3 of 8, 84 yards.
It's Glennon time.
Maybe.
Bring him in. It's my boy.
Dumped off to James Robinson. James Robinson's having a nice game. 9 carries, 44 yards, and a touchdown. Deebo Samuel. I have seen him catch like 4 passes or something. I don't think any of them have been more than 2 yards upfield. Oh, dude, Clyde's loose again. Clyde Edwards-Helaire really good.
Yeah, he's really good. I don't know why people don't like him.
Justin Jackson, huge dud, although he does have 3 catches for 24 yards. Keenan Allen's been good.
What does Herbert need to do to justify start of the week status? Because he's not there yet.
25 or more fantasy points, I'd say.
Ew, Jamie's in trouble.
No, I mean, it's the second. It's got 14 points midway through the second quarter.
Trouble.
All right, Tom Brady's having a big day. 18 of 26, 205 and 2, 26 points. Leonard Fournette, 5 for 33. Ronald Jones, 7 for 31. And Leonard Fournette, this is ridiculous. Leonard Fournette has 5 catches for 34 yards. Ronald Jones has 0 catches on 1 target. Rob Gronkowski is their leading receiver. He and Scott Miller. Miller.
Tom Brady had a rushing touchdown too.
Tom Brady. And a rushing touchdown. How about that?
Tom Brady's having a huge day.
Josh
Tom Brady might be the Millie maker.
Dude, the Bucs are going to win the Super Bowl, or they're going to win the NFC. What'd you think of the Antonio Brown thing?
I bet on them to win the NFC. Does it happen?
What were the odds?
5-1. Pretty good. Third best odds. Third highest odds.
I mean, would you look at their run defense? Look at what Alvin Kamara did.
Aaron Jones, touchdown, Niners. Jeff Wilson, baby.
Patriots are in trouble. Not today. Obviously, they're losing.
Parlay is looking all right for me.
Josh Jacobs has 7 carries for 10 yards. And this run defense is, if they continue to be this good, it's not just going to be the best in football. It's going to be, I honestly think it's going to be one of the best run defenses in X amount of years. I don't know, but it's going to be that kind of run defense. It's just tremendous. Bucks.
You call the Bucks historically great against the run?
Yeah, dude. I'm telling you. I'm going to tell you what running backs are averaging going into this game. Give me a minute. I think it's something like 2.4 yards per carry. And the things they have done to some of these running backs. All right, Buccaneer running backs are averaging 2.8 yards per carry against the Bucks. And they lost Vita Vea, which hurts my case. But Alvin Kamara, 12 carries, 16 yards. Christian McCaffrey, 18 carries, 59 yards. Melvin Gordon, 8 carries, 26 yards. Austin Eckler, 2 for 2. The Chargers had like 30 rushing yards. Aaron Jones, 10 carries for 15 yards.
Yeah.
Josh Jacobs, 7 carries for 10 yards. Historic, Will. Historic.
I mean,
you're feeling it.
Maybe. Let's look up, and I'll look up. Well, you talk for a minute. I'll look up. You know what I find really annoying, Adam?
Me?
No, I think you're great. That football, Sports Reference spun out their player season finder, or whatever it is, into a new site, stathead.com.
Oh yeah, I haven't used it since they've done it.
It's just a lot harder to use, I think. Like, I'm so used to using PFR's thing that I could like do it in seconds, and now
what would you have done? Like, what are you looking up?
I'm using Stathead now.
Yeah, but what specifically are you looking up?
Oh, I was gonna look up greatest, like, statistically the best run defenses.
Oh, okay. How would you do, like, what's the criteria? I'm not so good at the searching for these types of things.
I'm trying to see right now.
Okay.
I guess I could just look up stats and just sort your. Actually, I'll just do that. Let's see.
We're on for the remainder of this game, and we got a lot of fun stuff coming up. Jamie's gonna come on in about 20 minutes. Nando DeFino's coming on at 6.
We got Jamie coming?
Yeah.
Wow, glad to see he's actually working on Sunday for once.
Yeah, Jamie's gonna be here. Nando said he's dressing up, so looking forward to that.
Are you aware that Jamie and I are on a text thread with Pete Prisco?
And Nick Costas, you guys should just call it the cool kids. You guys are like,
no, it's not cool. It is a hellscape.
Yeah, I've heard.
Like, I will, and I have it muted, and Pete doesn't, which is classic Pete. Like, he's like I can't imagine him like getting like actually getting alerts for this, because like I'll like open up my phone and be like I'll have like the red thing, but next to the text message is like 63. He's like, what is happening? And you get in there, and just nothing, absolutely nothing.
I bet it's pretty profane. That's my one guess about that text chain. I think we should try to get Prisco. Like, can we trick Prisco? Because he'll never come on this voluntarily. Is there a way we can trick him into coming onto this Twitch stream?
I'm asking him now.
Okay. Yeah, it'll be fun. Well,
Say
he
no.
should wait until Jamie comes on, but yeah, it'll be fun. Checking in on this game here, 49ers kicking off.
Pete is now arguing that the Jaguars have talent.
I mean, doesn't every team have talent except the Jets?
Good point.
Yeah, and I was thinking about that with Sam Darnold today because he looked pretty good at times, and he looked pretty good against the Broncos at times. But I think what it comes down to at quarterback is like the mistakes. There are so many young quarterbacks that they can throw the ball, they can look good. They make too many damn mistakes. They run 85 yards and trip on the turf. Dwayne, the conversation we had about Dwayne Haskins, it's just playing quarterback is about eliminating mistakes. And Sam Darnold can't really get out of his own way. Cam throwing complete. So injury updates. It seems like Odell Beckham has a serious knee injury.
Yeah, it sounds like it could be season ending.
Man, that's
tough.
Guy, so injury prone. He played all of last year hurt. N'Keal Harry, by the way, left with a head injury.
I will say that, and maybe, I don't know if it's just because they were playing the Bengals or exactly what it was. I mean, Baker Mayfield was awesome.
Outstanding.
And it all basically came after Odell left.
Well, Odell left on the opening possession.
Yeah.
And by the
Baker
way,
threw a horrible interception.
Yeah. And then
and Baker was chasing down. I mean, Odell was chasing down the Bengals player when he hurt his knee.
And he jumped into his own player. It was so awkward.
Yeah.
But it's really a shame. All right. So what do you think the impact is fantasy wise?
I mean, my team. I'm
not picking up Donovan Peoples-Jones. I don't think I am anyway. Don't hold me to that.
I think they'll really lean on these tight ends. Like Harrison Bryant, I mean, could be a guy that you could start on a weekly basis.
Oh, it's great news for Hooper when he comes back.
And Hooper, yeah. And Njoku caught a touchdown.
Rashad Higgins. Now that's a more interesting one.
Kareem Hunt's just going to be a monster.
Rashard Higgins, 6 catches, 110 yards on 6 targets. Yeah, Kareem Hunt, 18 carries, 76 yards, plus 26 yards and a touchdown catch receiving. And, I wouldn't say we got lucky with Gio, but it was nice that he caught that touchdown.
He should not have had a good game.
But, at the same time, why were we so excited about Gio Bernard? He got every single running back carry except for one, and he had 5 catches, and that's not really that surprising. So what did he have? 96 total yards and a touchdown.
If he didn't have a touchdown, it's a disappointing day.
96 total yards and 5 catches is actually, I think, fine in PPR. Cam throws another interception. This was a Hail Mary situation here. This wasn't his fault. Final seconds of the half, threw it deep.
Yeah, but I mean, this could set up a field goal for the Niners.
It could. Yeah, I think it just did.
Oh my God!
I think it just did. Oh, what a blowout. Man, it's weird to see the Patriots this bad.
It is. Man, Adam, I might have assembled my favorite fantasy team of all time this year.
Yeah, what'd you got?
So are you in that office league where you have to do the team quarterback or whatever? It's like the weird draft where you can only take.
Now, is that the one with 24 part teams or something?
Yeah, you can only take 24 teams. You can only take a running back or tight end in the first round of the draft.
I have
wide receiver or quarterback in the second round.
Oh,
so I had the second overall pick. And what do you think I did?
Barkley.
No. Kelsey. Yes.
Oh, nice.
And I ended up with Stafford at quarterback. I also have Teddy Bridgewater, DJ Moore, Travis Kelsey, Calvin Ridley, Will Fuller is the core of the team.
My goodness.
In a 24-team league. And then I got Le'Veon Bell off waivers and Jamal Williams, who I started today, Zach Moss, Addison. I don't know. I just love the team.
We haven't really talked about that Green Bay game. Let's go to the Green Bay game.
That was dude, 99% of Deshaun Watson's production is in garbage time. The Texans are terrible. They get down huge and he just throws a bunch of it's just crap late.
It's pretty frustrating because I just didn't draft Deshaun Watson. And I'm almost I don't know. I don't want him to do this well because I don't think he deserves it.
Yeah, it's frustrating.
Yeah. And David Johnson, he caught a touchdown. He is just not a very good running back, it seems. Jamal Williams had a great game, and A.J. Dillon certainly did not. 19 carries, 77 yards, and a touchdown, 4 catches, 37 yards. And this really could have been such a good game for Aaron Jones. What are your thoughts on the Packers? They got really embarrassed. No, they got beat badly by the Bucs. They bounced back with this game, but a lot of people are going to point out that they've beaten up on really bad defenses. They're 5-1 though. What do you think of the Packers?
Yeah, I mean, I think that they are. I don't know. I thought that they were going to be questionable. Oh, that's terrible, Jimmy. What are you doing?
That's just, dude,
He just run into the end zone.
There's no time left.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah,
I can't see the clock from where I'm sitting on my.
Okay, no, it's the last play of the half. How did they not move the ball?
Why did they not try a field goal?
They're in midfield.
I can't see it, Adam. I'm talking to you. I thought he got to like the 30 or something. Weird.
Nah, he got to like the 45. But he had 15 seconds left, so I don't know. I don't know what happened there.
But they had 2 times. What?
I didn't see the plays leading
They
up.
should have run something underneath.
I don't think they had time for it.
They had 2
I could be
timeouts.
wrong.
7
All right,
seconds.
Will, you know what? I'm just going to check the damn play-by-play. All right, Brinson?
There's 2 timeouts in 7 seconds. You just run something underneath and then kick a field goal.
All right. Well, I guess I don't need to check the play-by-play. 7 seconds. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, that was a mistake. That was a mistake.
Yeah, I think the Packers are legit. I don't know. I mean, I think I would. I mean, obviously, I would rather have the Bucs. I do think there's a small chance that the Lions could catch them in the division.
The Lions?
Lions.
Really?
Yes, really.
They're 3-3.
They should be 5-1, honestly.
They definitely should have won week 1.
Bears game, yeah.
Yeah. I guess I'm not remembering all of their games. They beat Jacksonville, they beat Atlanta. So they're on a 3-game winning streak? Or no, 2-game winning streak. They beat Arizona. They won 3 out of 4. That was a good win.
Yeah.
They lost by 21 to the Packers.
They got blasted by the Packers, yes.
By 6 to the Saints.
That was a crazy game against the Falcons, by the way. We already talked about that, didn't we?
Yeah, we did, but that was like an hour and a half ago. So, no, it was a wild game. The Falcons, what a tough year for them. Yeah, I don't know. I think the Lions stink. Come on. But the more carries they give to DeAndre Swift and the fewer to Adrian Peterson, the better. I don't understand. It's like you're just giving away plays with Adrian Peterson. You have almost no chance for, a highlight reel play. Play the kid, man. Play the kid. Did you find your historically great defenses yet?
No, I gave up.
You gave up. Damn you, Pro Football Reference. All right. All right, what do we got, Will? Halftime here. Waiting for Jamie to come on. Don't think we're going to get Prisco. Pick a game, Brinson.
What about the Bills and the Jets?
Bills, Jets. I love talking about the Bills and the Jets.
Josh Allen's sort of fading a bit here after that hot start.
That is not my personal opinion necessarily. Like, I don't think he's going to be elite like he was at the beginning necessarily, but I don't think he's going to be bad. And I don't think he was bad today. I think Josh Allen played really well. He was a lot.
You do?
Yeah, I do. I watched this game. I watched a lot of it.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, look, I stream whatever's on CBS as I watch Red Zone. So, being in New York.
Right. That makes sense.
Yeah. So I don't think it was his fault. Like, they can't run the ball. And they kept driving down the field. 307 yards, 30 for 43, 307 yards. That's pretty good. They also ran for 61 yards, but they're just one-dimensional. They outgained the Jets 422 to 190. Just couldn't get in the end zone. So whereas the last 2 weeks, he was really inaccurate. I didn't find that to be the case today. I was encouraged in that regard.
They didn't score a touchdown against the Jets.
I know, but they had 422 yards. But I think, is it just as simple as like a healthy John Brown gives them a dimension that they've just been missing?
Yeah, I think it matters.
Even when he's played, he's been hurt,
Well, and Diggs got hurt too, right?
Not really. Like, he got shaken up, but he came back. Unless he
didn't leave.
I don't think he missed significant time or anything.
Okay.
He had 11 targets. Why do I know so much about this game?
I don't know. It's very bizarre.
It wasn't my choice.
I know. You know what game we could talk about?
What's that?
The Eagles-Giants game.
We could definitely talk about the Eagles-Giants game.
I'm kidding. No one cares about that. Pittsburgh, Tennessee was awesome. Did we talk about that? I think
Pittsburgh,
Ryan Tannehill's a legit fantasy star. AJ Brown is an absolute monster.
Well, I mean, Tannehill had 20 points. Like, I don't even think he's going to be a top 15 guy this week.
Yeah, but he did that against a good defense.
The problem is his schedule stinks. I totally buy Tannehill. Totally buy it. But Cincinnati next week should be fine. Then the Bears, Colts, and Ravens. And Colts. Those are his next 4 games after Cincinnati.
Bears, Colts,
Ravens, Colts.
That is actually quite hard.
It stinks.
Yeah.
You get past that, it gets a lot better though. But yeah, so are the Steelers the best team in football?
It's hard. I mean, I would still rather have the Ravens, I think.
And the Chiefs?
Yeah, I would definitely take the Chiefs over the Steelers.
Let's get a Super Bowl poll up. Let's give 3 or 4 options here. Those 3 teams: Chiefs, Steelers, Ravens. Well, you got another team? Bucks?
Bucks. Yeah, let's do Bucks.
All right, let's get those 4 teams up. Let's get a Twitch poll here. Who's going to win the Super Bowl? And thanks so much for tuning into the Home Team Watch Party. We are live here until the end of the 49ers Patriots game. You know, the actual end, not the theoretical end. We're going to talk fantasy. We're going to well, it's over is what I'm saying. Well, it's over. Come on.
Yeah, 20 points.
It is over. We're going to answer any questions you have. You want to ask some questions in the Twitch chat, go for it. We're going to check in on the other games too. Is that Tim Patrick making moves? Is Tim Patrick good?
Yeah, Tim Patrick is good.
Okay. Well, let's check in on his stats. I know he was leading them in yards. He had 2 for 32. I think he just had another catch there. So, checking in on this game, just in general. Still, we are basically at halftime, and Patrick Mahomes has 3 fantasy points. So,
well, the Chiefs scored on a pick 6
and a kickoff.
That was Byron Pringle on the kickoff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, that's just tough. 7-11 for 99 yards. Yeah.
Chiefs DST. Right.
Gonna win some people some money.
Yeah. I basically, Heath and I share a team, and we basically had a FanDuel lineup today. We still have Wilson at Superflex. We have Breeze, Swift, Hunt, Adams, AJ Brown, T. Higgins. Good
my God.
Yeah, it's a good day. Just, those
you guys
weeks,
went 8.
it just falls into place. Like everybody does well.
That's always nice. I think do you actually do the YOLO League, or is that just?
I do not do the YOLO League. No.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's just a name. You're on the team though.
I am. I have access to the team. Oh, you don't know. Jamie doesn't know this. So I think that's the league that I share with Jamie. And
yes.
just for content purposes, so I could have seen the league, whatever we were talking about on our podcast.
Your team name is Where's Will, and it's a picture of me on HQ.
Okay, but the manager name is Jamie Eisenberg, but I changed the spelling of his name to Jaime. And I did that like a week and a half ago, and Jamie still is unaware of it.
No, that's not the case. In this case, it's listed as W. Brinson A. Azer.
Okay, so this is a different league. This must be the auction league or something like that. Oh, no, it's the telethon league. The telethon league. I'm a teammate with Jamie, and he doesn't know it. So Nando and I have devised some schemes to mess with Jamie and his team without him knowing. We're gonna post some.
I should make you a trade offer in this YOLO league. And you can accept it.
I don't know. I don't think I'm on this league, dude.
You are. It says A. Azer.
All right. Well, I don't have it in my list. Are you not in the telethon league?
No.
All right. Let's do this. I'm gonna find the YOLO league.
Okay. I'll link you.
All right. You link me to it. Make me a trade offer, and I'll accept it. But we have to wait for Jamie to come on. By the way, I am going to rip Dave Richard for the trade he made in our 2 QB league today. Did you see this trade?
No.
I don't know what happened. He gave up Taysom Hill. No, he gave up Jarvis Landry and TJ Hawkinson for Taysom Hill and Darren Fells.
That just seems like collusion.
I don't know what this is. I was on the air on Twitch with Chris Towers. And Chris is like, guys, am I missing something? Dave just offered me Landry and Hawkinson for Taysom Hill and Darren Fells. And I'm like,
I don't know, man. My team is terrible in that league. I had Barkley and Chubb.
Oh yeah, that's bad. No, you You made me so happy in that league when you took Nick Chubb over Josh Jacobs. I was like jumping for joy because I had the pick after you.
Yeah.
You send me a link?
No.
Okay, send me a link. Let's do this.
Okay.
Let's do this. Jamie,
What happens if like he's gonna freak out, right? It's a keeper. It's a dynasty league too. That's the best part.
who's the commish?
Heath,
Well, Heath will overturn it.
maybe.
Heath will overturn it. This is gonna be wonderful. This is gonna be classic Azer Brinson prank here.
Yeah, this is classic Azer.
We pull this stuff off so much.
Let's see. All right, Yola.
Buccaneers lining up for a field goal, trying to take a 24-10 lead. They gave up a deep touchdown to Nelson Aguilar early in the game and really not much else after. And they do get the field goal. You sent a text to me. Why couldn't you send me like a IM so I could do it on my laptop?
Slack? Oh, you want Slack?
Yeah, sure. You can Slack me.
We've never Slacked before.
Oh, big day. Big day.
You don't strike me as somebody who slacks a lot.
I do not like Slack. I do not. It's not that I don't like Slack. I resent that like you're not cool if you're not on Slack.
What? I don't think Slack's like cool.
Well, you're not. I don't know. Like I'm a bad employee if I don't use Slack. Is basically the implication here. Did you just offer me a trade?
No, I will. Hold on, let me.
Because Jamie does have a trade pending.
Oh, he does.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Okay, so you can get in there.
Yeah, I'm in. All
right, let's see. What should we do?
But okay, the thing is, you have to wait for Jamie to come on the show. Actually, no, I don't think you do, because he'll get the notification.
Oh, he has a good team too.
All right. Well, who do you want?
Michael Gallup and Deontay Johnson are on the bench. In like a really deep.
All right, you got to do a buy low for Tyreek Hill.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna. Will it even let us trade?
I don't know. We'll try.
I'm going to offer you. What do you think is a fair trade? Gerald Everett for Tyreek Hill?
Yeah, I think that sounds right. Like
Cole Beasley for Tyreek Hill.
Cole Beasley had a huge game today, so I think that makes sense. Cole Beasley for Tyreek Hill. It's a dynasty league, so Beasley's only going up.
I just offered it. Now you need to go accept, and then Jamie will come on here because he's going to get the alert for it.
Yeah. Okay. Hold on. Cole Beasley for Tyreek Hill. I'm going to review it. I'm going to leave a comment. Great trade. And accepted.
Classic. I wonder if it'll go through right away because there's probably no voting, right?
I don't know. I'm pressing accept like 6 times here and it's not working. Oh man, is it not going to let us?
I bet it won't let us because it's the week's already started.
Ah. Man, what a bummer.
Wait, who all does he have? Because we could trade people who haven't started yet.
Right. Yeah. No, I don't think anyone. Well, we could get the guys around bye. Mark Ingram, Trey Burton. Yeah, there's nobody. He doesn't have anyone in the Monday game.
Ugh.
Oh man. Oh, he does. Oh,
Christian McCaffrey. Oh, here he started too.
Yeah. No, come on, do it. Okay. No, that's not gonna work. You're right.
Yeah, because the Panthers will have already played as well.
All right. Hey, what's going on, Will?
Hey, Adam, just hanging out, not making any fantasy trades. What are you doing?
Oh, well, we're not.
It didn't work.
Tried our very best.
That
sucks.
Let's see if Jamie can figure out how to. Maybe he's got Pete doing his technology for him. That's why he can't get the.
Jamie, you there? Hey, James.
Jane? Do you call him Jane?
No, I don't. Dave does sometimes, though.
That's a little weird.
Why isn't Jerick McKinnon playing? People are wondering. Yeah, that's a great question. There's Jamie.
What's up, guys?
You don't have to get so dressed up, man. You look so good, so dapper.
What's going on?
Nice to see you working on a Sunday for once.
Yeah, man. Trying to be like you, buddy.
We
Can we get Pete on? Should we tell him
what we said no?
Jamie, are you allowed to make trades like right now? Let's say you wanted to trade like Tyreek Hill right now and his game has started. Do you know if you're allowed to do that or you have to wait till the next scoring period?
I think you could have the trade agreed upon, but I don't think it will happen for the scoring period.
Well, let's do that, Will. Let's just agree on it on the league.
Well, that's gonna.
We tried to play a prank on you, Jamie, and it didn't work.
On me?
Yeah. As in the YOLO league.
You just accepted an offer for Cole Beasley for Tyreek Hill.
I did.
But it wouldn't go through.
Because it's already started. Because the game's already started.
Yeah. Jamie ripped me off on a trade last night. He pressured me.
You made the offer to me.
Yeah, but I didn't really want to do it. And then you like made me feel bad about not doing it. You pressured me.
No. So
What was the trade?
I said, let's make a trade in the IDP league.
Wait, back up, because we'd already talked about these terms. You already had proposed to me a trade that was similar. And then
So I sent him a trade. Here's what happened. Well, I sent him a trade offer of, jokingly as part of this, because I stole Leighton Vander Esch from him. So the trade offer was CeeDee Lamb and Vander Esch for Darrell Henderson and J.D. McKissick.
Okay, CeeDee Lamb
And
Darrell
Vander Esch.
Henderson.
CeeDee Lamb and Leighton Vander Esch for Darrell Henderson and J.D. McKissick in PPR.
Now the Vander Esch part of it was a joke. So it was really mostly CeeDee Lamb for Darrell Henderson.
Right.
So he said, he says to me on the air, I'll give you Darrell Henderson for CeeDee Lamb. So never the proposed part of the trade was never actually happened. So then last night I texted him. I said, let's make a trade in the IDP league. He responds back to me, Henderson for CeeDee Lamb. I said, fine. Then he says, I'll think about it. I'm turning my computer off. I'll let you know in the morning. I go, what?
That's poor form.
You just offered me the trade. I said yes.
I wanted to.
He texted you, right?
No,
he replied to me.
Okay.
I thought. Look, I thought it was a fair trade in PPR.
It is a fair trade.
Yeah, well, not this week. It's not.
Well, I mean, Henderson may go out and lay an egg too.
0. I think he's going to outscore 0 fantasy points.
He's still part of a backfield that, I mean, in a week, he may be not. So my situation is I'd
much rather have Henderson than Lamb for the rest of the season.
Well, you could start 4 receivers. You start 3 for sure. It's PPR. He has a very good backfield. I don't have Eckler, and I had Jonathan Taylor on a bye. So I was basically and ironically enough, I had picked up Jeff Wilson and dropped Jeff Wilson after making the trade. So dumb move on my part.
Yeah. No, I mean, look, the way I thought was like CeeDee Lamb is going to have a 4-point head start on Darrell Henderson basically every week. So then it just comes down to yards and whatnot, but just because it's PPR. But also, I don't know if you guys do this, but I just have a lot of Darrell Henderson, and I kind of felt overexposed, and there's just too much downside there where he's just kind of useless in PPR leagues. So I wanted to get something for him while his value was possibly at its highest, and it didn't work out. But the Dalton injury really stinks. But what are you gonna do?
You were never playing Darrell Henderson.
No, I was going to start him this week.
This week you were, but when everybody's healthy and active for you, you're never playing Darrell Henderson.
As my flex, I probably would. But now look at Ronald Jones. What a horrible development this is for Ronald Jones. With Fournette having 5 catches on 34 yards, and Ronald Jones getting 1 target right now. I
think you had to sort of assume that was a possibility.
I don't know. I don't know why I would assume that Leonard Fournette is more suited to be the pass catching back when Leonard Fournette had one of the most inefficient receiving years last year. I don't know.
Fournette was sneakily better at catching passes at LSU than people gave him credit for, I thought.
Well, I guess everyone's better than Ronald Jones. He's really bad at catching passes. So I guess it's not a huge surprise. Jamie, what are your fantasy takeaways? We're watching this game here and the Niners all over the Patriots, but what are you thinking about week 7 so far?
It's good to see Juju getting those targets. Speaking of your fantasy team, that was part of the reason you made that trade, was because you were concerned about Juju. So the fact that he got 14 targets and Deontay Johnson got 15, that's bad news for Chase Claypool, but we'll see what happens on a week-to-week basis.
Right. Yeah, it's going to be – do you think it's just going to be a headache?
I think it's going to be a headache, yeah. I mean, if the sample size that we have for Claypool –
Sorry, we do that a lot here.
That we have for Claypool is –
What happened? What'd you owe?
The Raiders had a big
deep
play.
Shot to Aguilar. Good for Derek Carr, man. That's twice this game.
And Derek Carr throws downfield 3 times, and people are, look, he's amazing.
Let's see.
It is. They are much better when he throws.
Woo! Look at that move.
It's going to be bad for Chase Claypool. This is when everybody's healthy. This is the first game since his 2 big ones. So.
Yeah.
So that was a really good pass.
It was a great pass. So let's get Josh Jacobs a touchdown here to salvage this day.
Well, you'll need it because your comment on Friday was very disparaging of Derek Carr.
What did I say?
You said no one in their right mind will play Derek Carr after Heath the day before was singing his praises.
What did Heath back off or no?
No, because the offensive line's healthy. Touchdown, Derek Carr.
Did he?
Yeah, Darren Waller.
You're lying. How are you that far ahead of me?
There's no score yet.
I'm in a better state.
No, he's lying. He's lying.
I've got NFL Jesus up. There's no score yet.
Darren Waller scored, unless it's a penalty.
What are you talking about? You're like 6 minutes ahead of me.
He's lying, man. Don't fall for this.
I don't know what to tell you. Darren Waller scored a touchdown.
No, he's 100% right. That did just happen. Darren Waller just scored a touchdown.
They haven't even put it on the game log yet.
Wow.
There's a penalty. I think it's unsportsmanlike conduct.
That's kicked a field goal.
It's a big day for Derek Carr.
Not yet. It's a good day. It's only second touchdown.
23 points. That's good.
I stacked Joe Burrow with Tyler Boyd in DFS today and brought it back with Odell Beckham.
Oh
man.
Tough.
Have we heard anything more on Beckham or just the serious knee injury that Rappaport reported?
Just
serious knee injury. Can we talk about this 2 quarterback league trade, Jamie?
What, Dave's?
Yeah. What happened?
Why did he make that trade?
Yeah.
He had no quarterback. So he was thinking that Taysom Hill was going to have some production today.
What? He gave up. What? That's awful.
What was the second part of it?
He gave up giving up Landry, still not worth. Hawkinson for Hill and Fells.
Well, he liked Aaron Fells.
Okay, but more than Hawkinson?
Apparently.
All right, I'm sorry. That's crazy. Like Taysom Hill, you don't trade for Taysom Hill when you need a quarterback. It's just wild.
Well, I mean, he was stuck.
Yeah. Like Taysom Hill is liable to give you 1 point. It's just
his rationale. Which, I mean, he was talking about it. He was trying to trade with me and Heath. I said, I'll give you Gardner Minshew, but I need some semblance of a third quarterback back in return. His rationale was Taysom Hill, and he was excited. He played Taysom Hill on FanDuel because you could play Taysom Hill as a tight end on FanDuel today.
Did Taysom Hill do anything?
I don't think so. But he thought without Sanders and Thomas there that Taysom Hill would do something.
Is Seattle, Arizona on the main slate in FanDuel?
Yes. How cool is that?
I mean, I didn't play very much of it, so I don't really like it, to be honest.
Oh, you didn't play? Oh, no, I guess I would avoid that game. Seems like kind of a fantasy dud. Seattle, Arizona. No big deal. Yeah, I'm joking. You should have played that game. It's going to be a very high scoring game.
So
I think we might have just gotten a bonanza mush.
No way. Not even I could mush that game.
Oh yeah, it's going under.
What was the big disappointment today? Was it Lions Falcons in terms of under disappointment?
Oh my gosh. Like Matt Ryan, so disappointing.
I got, so we have Todd Furman on FFT every morning. And one of his prop bets today was Matt Ryan under 1.5 touchdowns. Now, the reason he was doing it was because it was plus 180.
Yeah.
And I was like, there's no way he's going under at 1.5 touchdowns against the Lions at home. I'm like, Todd, you're crazy. And so I said, like, I was joking. I was like, all right, so for those of you playing Matt Ryan, because Todd's very good at what he does. I said, for those of you playing Matt Ryan today, he'll get 1 passing touchdown, but he'll run for 2. So he's going to be fine.
Well, he had a few, end zone throws that just
Ridley unbelievably did not get 2 feet in on the 1 touchdown. Then he scored again.
Big play here in the Jacksonville game.
You saw that one live?
Defensive touchdown. All right.
Who scored? Which defense?
Jags.
Oh,
Will's always like mad at me because my TV is way ahead of him. And Jamie is like at the game.
I mean, Jamie.
The Chargers actually ran the kickoff back.
What, already? Yeah, how about that? Jamie, what's the final score of the Chargers game?
It's 42-20. Justin Herbert comes back with 3 touchdowns in the fourth quarter.
Start of the week. Was that a punt block? Oh, it's a block punt.
Box.
One of our former colleagues is going all in on Willie Boy here, who told him not to bet the Jaguars.
Not Heath. Will, did NC State's starting quarterback get hurt?
2 weeks ago. He broke his leg.
Oh,
is he trolling Will now? Oh my God.
No, we got a game coming up soon.
We got a what?
We got a game coming up. Miami, NC State, 2 weeks.
Friday.
Yeah, next Friday, right?
Yeah, gonna be miserable. We stink.
All right. Philip Lindsay, by the way, ruled out with a concussion. So N'Keal Harry concussion, Philip Lindsay.
He was the guy too today.
Certainly seemed that way. Jamie told me to start Melvin Gordon over Boston Scott. I started neither. All right. How about James Robinson?
Jamie needed that Jaguars touchdown.
Yeah, that'll be good.
How about James Robinson?
Hand the ball off a few more times.
MPR wants to know what we think about James Robinson.
He's awesome.
Get those stats up. 14 carries, 82 yards, and a touchdown.
He's the best player in the game today.
And a receiving touchdown, too.
He's the best player in the game today.
Let's guess James Robinson's start percentage.
75%.
Will?
Robinson has 2 touchdowns.
Yeah. Will, what's the start percentage?
What did he have last week?
Bad game.
Not a good game.
I'll say
he caught a touchdown, though.
83%.
84%. Will Brinson. Well done. Closest.
So I asked my son, my 8-year-old in the father-son league that we share, Giovanni Bernard or James Robinson. And I had him ranked back-to-back. Robinson 1 spot ahead. And he said, stick with Robinson. Good call.
You had Robinson ahead, huh? I would have for sure.
Non-PPR.
Okay. Yeah, they both were good. Deebo Samuel must be having a pretty nice PPR.
All the backup running backs were good this week. Scott was good for Sanders. Gio was good for Mixon. And Jamal Williams was good for Aaron.
Brandon Ayuk is good.
Brandon Ayuk is leading the team in receiving. I believe that gives him 77 yards. No. Is he over 100 now? Or are we? Sometimes the stats update before game tracker. Deebo Samuel has 5 catches for 65 yards. I'm guessing Deebo Samuel, I'm not joking when I say his ADOT, his average depth of target, is probably like less than 3 yards.
Another thing you scoffed at me this week about too.
What?
When I had Ayuk in the waiver wire, you're like, who's picking up Brandon Ayuk?
Well, I don't know why you would. Didn't make it who saw this coming?
Well, I mean, he scored last week.
5 catches for 112 yards.
He's really good, and Kyle Shanahan used a first-round pick on him.
Look at his last.
Wanted to take him as the first receiver in the draft.
Look at his last 2 games. They've been nothing like crap.
Bang! Let's go, Niners.
Wilson.
Jeff Wilson.
3rd touchdown of the game.
Yep.
This is this parlay I have is a large parlay, so this is a favorable outcome for me.
All right, well, just talk about all your damn bets already. You ever seen
They literally told me to come on here and talk about fantasy football and gambling.
You ever see the Family Guy episode? I'll just be vague about it. Nah, forget it. I won't even get it.
Have you guys watched The Boys?
No.
Not yet, no.
Oh my God. It is incredible. It is must watch. It's a superhero. It's like a dark superhero show.
Okay.
It's hard to explain specifically. You have to watch it. It's absolutely addictive.
What if you don't like superheroes?
Yeah, you'll like this anyway. It's sort of making fun of the construct.
Oh, okay. Then I'm definitely in. Definitely in for that. Yeah. So people are upset they didn't start Jeff Wilson. You shouldn't be. He's hurt. Oh, that's a bummer. But we could not. I really don't think we could have seen this coming. This is disappointing.
Oh man, can you imagine that he's going to have this big game and then have to miss time? Was his calf again?
I do not know.
Yep. Reach for his calf.
Oh.
And then Tevin Coleman could be back next week.
Yeah, he's all right. He looks like he might be all right. 17 carries, 112 yards, 3 touchdowns. This is just the Chiefs with another fumble recovery on a flea flicker.
The house.
Okay, Melvin Gordon throws the worst flea flicker back to July. I'm serious. That's the worst I've ever seen. I've never seen a flea flicker that wild.
Yeah, Jeff Wilson's not okay.
No, he's not. That's a bummer. Jamie, what do you think? Are we going to panic about the Chiefs' offense for fantasy? The passing game?
I mean, obviously they have not
that
been
is terrible, Melvin Gordon.
They have not been statistically good. The way teams have played them. So, you have to wonder how this is going to go moving forward. But, I mean, who are you benching?
No, you're not benching anyone, but it's like...
You know what Pete Prisco said on the Pick Six podcast show, hosted by my show, on Wednesday with me and Brady on there? He's like, Mahomes isn't happy about not passing. I was like, what are you talking about? You don't care? He's like, he's not happy. Trust me, he doesn't like it. I was like, I don't think he cares, Pete. He just wants to win football games. He's like, no, believe me, he wants it. Like, do you think Pete has any rationale there whatsoever? Because I don't. Like, I don't think Patrick Mahomes gives one crap about how many times he passes.
Right. Look, so I think there's obviously ego with every football player, there's ego with every athlete, so he's got his ring, he's got his MVP. I'm sure he's got his money. I'm sure he wants to stack rings at this point, to, start to pad his legacy. But his legacy also is his numbers, and so, for him to go down as the greatest quarterback of all time, which he has a shot to be if this career trajectory continues, he's going to need some bigger numbers. So I'm sure that factors into it. But I think you're right, Will, in that if they're, marching toward the Super Bowl and have everybody healthy and get there however they get there, they're going to be the favorite, so.
Oh. Clyde Edwards-Helaire just dropped a touchdown.
Here comes Le'Veon Bell.
Here comes Harrison Butker, to be more specific.
Oh, man, we needed that for the over in this game.
Oh, man.
You miss it?
No, I was kind of like...
Manning it.
Yeah.
Herbert stinks now.
Oh, man. All right, well...
he's got like 60 yards rushing, though.
Question.
Oh, my God. Is this going to be wide open on this? I mean, you just have to catch that. You have to catch that.
He knows it. It was a good play by Mahomes. Great play by Mahomes. All right, anyway, first of all, I don't agree at all about Mahomes. Like, he is the wealthiest football player ever. He has a Super Bowl ring. He's widely regarded as the best player in football. He wants to win. So that's my insider's take. Question from Tom Yeet. What are your thoughts on Ezekiel Elliott and what fantasy managers should do? Zeke had his worst game today. What should fantasy managers do, Jamie?
Panic. That's a bad team. It's a really bad team. It's a bad offensive line. It's a bad quarterback situation that could get worse now.
Do you think
serious panic?
Do you think they could they end up with Trevor Lawrence and they don't have to pay Dak? It's not that far-fetched.
Or Fields.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're saying that the Giants wouldn't draft Trevor Lawrence if they had the number 1 pick, but the Cowboys would.
But the Cowboys don't have a quarterback under contract.
There's a money situation involved there.
Fine. Either way, whoever has the number 1 pick, unless it's the Kansas City Chiefs, should take Trevor Lawrence.
I think it's an interesting one is Minnesota. Because they're in the hunt, and obviously they keep paying Kirk Cousins for whatever reason.
If you're Minnesota, you have to take Trevor Lawrence.
Oh, of course. Any team, like Adam said, it's the Ravens.
You think the Giants would do it? I don't think the Giants would.
1,000,000%.
Of course,
no,
the Giants would.
not should, would.
Would absolutely.
Yes, because
would.
if they get the number 1 pick, Gettleman's fired.
It doesn't even.
Oh,
matter.
Chargers!
You trade Daniel Jones for whatever you want, and you take.
You're getting a ham sandwich for Daniel Jones.
No, you can get at least a second round pick at least for Daniel Jones.
If you're dumping him, I don't think you're getting a second round pick at least.
Well, I mean, the Cardinals got a second round pick for Josh Rosen. So.
Yeah, he's a lot better. I hope he's a lot better than Josh Rosen. All right. Well, anyway, welcome to the home team watch party presented by Lowe's. It is 30-6. Oh my God. Okay. First of all, let's talk about panicking on Zeke. What does that mean exactly? Like right now, 12 carries, 45 yards in this game, 1 catch for 6 yards.
Their offensive line is terrible, and they're
I get it. He's definitely a downgrade, but he's still like first round value, isn't he?
No.
You don't think so?
Not now.
How is this different from Saquon Barkley? With Eli.
Saquon Barkley has a torn ACL.
What I'm saying is, how is this different than Saquon Barkley?
I know what you mean.
You had the Giants offensive line with Eli Manning, that situation.
Because Saquon Barkley is a much better pass catcher than Zeke. And
he might be better at it, but Zeke catches, he had 2 games.
Zeke's a very good pass catcher, but Saquon Barkley is like a special pass catching talent. And Saquon Barkley didn't have Tony Pollard, who is a very good pass catcher.
It's just bad. I mean, I would say as bad as the Giants offensive line has been at their low, it's better than what the Cowboys offensive line is right now.
I don't even know if the Giants offensive line is better than the Cowboys. Did you watch the Eagles game?
Yes, I also just watched. I watched this game today. The Cowboys offensive line is a mess, and Eli at his worst is better than Dalton right now.
Then,
would you trade
maybe
Zeke for Michael Thomas
in a heartbeat?
Okay,
I don't know. I don't think I would. Like he's got.
I think I would too.
Chronic injuries.
Yeah, Zeke has chronic Cowboys.
I think this is
It's bad, dude. That Cowboys team is bad. I mean,
They are terrible.
Will, appropriately so, on his show, and it's his show, suggested that Mike McCarthy could be on the hot seat. And at this
Now
point,
people around the league are, whispering about it.
that's right. I heard that from an astute NFL reporter that people around the league are whispering about it.
I don't get it, but it sounds funny.
2 weeks ago, I was like, Pete sent the link. He's like, this is ridiculous. Talking about Mike McCarthy on the hot seat. He is a great coach, a good man. He will be around in Dallas for a long time.
And I was like, what he said.
I'm not saying he should be fired.
That's what he said.
He could be on the hot seat. He's like, you're stupid. My poop knows more about football than you.
Pete said, pick six idiots talking about McCarthy getting fired. And then today he said, also critiquing the same comment from Will, but said people around the league are also suggesting that he could be fired.
High-ranking personnel man told me Mike McCarthy might get fired.
Not the way he phrased it. Not the way he phrased it. He just said people around the league are talking. So I suggested that he owes Will an apology. He says no.
He refuses. He's like, I will apologize when he is fired. I was like, okay.
But I mean, look, the Cowboys are terrible. The defense is terrible. The offensive line is terrible. The quarterback situation is terrible. If they didn't have that running back and those wide receivers, it would be the worst team in football. And it might still be the worst team in football.
Tell me what's different about this team. Now, look, if they have a third string quarterback, that's another thing. They get Dalton back hopefully soon.
Dude, Dalton is not Dalton.
I understand, but he's better than the third string guy. Tell me what's different about this team and the Carolina Panthers last year. It's a little bit worse. They're worse, but the Panthers were a terrible team. The Panthers had a terrible defense. I don't think they had a very good offensive line. It didn't stop Christian McCaffrey from having one of the best running back seasons we've ever had.
I know you want to put Zeke in that category. He's not that type of pass catcher.
Right. It's ridiculous.
But he still gets the targets. I know he's not. I'm not saying he's going to be Christian McCaffrey, but I just think that like the workhorse back is not going to be a top 12 player.
You said first round talent. He doesn't have to be a first round talent to still be a good.
Not talent. I said first round
value.
I meant value. Is he a first round? Is he a top 12 overall player?
No, not with the current construct of what this team is and how they're going to be playing.
McCaffrey got 142 targets last year.
I don't understand do you not see what Zeke has done in the passing game this year?
What has Zeke done in the 2.5 games without Dak Prescott?
He scored. He was fine. Okay, here's why I think that might be an overreaction. Because if I asked you this question yesterday, you would have said that Ezekiel Elliott was a top 12 overall player.
I don't know if I would have.
He's no pace for 112 target. He's at like 112. He's going to max out at 112.
This is semantics. He's a top 20 overall player.
Wait, are you criticizing Zeke because he's on pace for 112 targets?
But you trying to compare him to Christian McCaffrey?
No. I'm saying this. I'm saying that you can be a good fantasy running back in this horrible situation.
Yes.
That's
you probably. I mean, yeah, of course you can.
They just played 2 games, right? Without Dak Prescott and with the offensive line, an absolute disaster, correct? Because they lost Zach Martin last week's game.
Right.
And in those 2 games, they scored 13 points.
They are terrible, man.
They can't score.
Suck.
And the other difference, too, between like CMC and Zeke and Saquon is that those guys didn't have Amari Cooper, CeeDee Lamb, and Michael Gallup.
Well, I know why he brought up McCaffrey, because when you look at DJ Moore, he's in that caliber of wide receiver. Yeah.
I brought him up I think it's a good thing that he has those weapons on the outside. Look, Zeke, you can talk about Tony Pollard all you want. Zeke still gets most of the carries and a ton of catches. At least that's been the case with Dalton and with Prescott. I don't know if you get another quarterback in there, if that would stay the same.
Dude, he's had 77, 82, and 61% of the plays, 77, 82, and 61% of the snaps before in the 3 games prior to today. He's not on the field as much.
As who? Is Christian McCaffrey? Nobody is. I'm not saying he's going to be Christian McCaffrey. What I'm saying is, can Ezekiel Elliott still be a top 12 player? Yeah, he's not going to be number 1 overall. There's no chance. But remember, he had 66% of the snaps or whatever because he got benched for fumbling.
Well, that's sort of a problem if you want him to be a top 12 player.
I understand it's a problem, but you're still talking about a workhorse.
Like, your argument for why Zeke can be a top 12 player is like he got benched for fumbling, so it's not that big a deal. Like that's
it is a big
bad
deal.
argument.
I said, Jamie, who did I say was a bad buy on FanDuel this week? Ezekiel Elliott. I said, what happens if he fumbles? You know, I'm not valuing Ezekiel Elliott nearly what he was 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks
Hello,
ago.
Nando.
Oh, I was waiting for Adam to ask if I'm there 17 times.
I know you're there. I know you're there. I love the decorations. Very good.
Well, Jimmy!
What am I looking at, Nando? What am I looking at?
What do you mean? A friend.
What's behind you?
It's a ghost.
Is this like a Dexter situation?
No, it's all I could find. I wanted to get a cool background, and
What is it?
I don't know. It's like a mausoleum. It was
great.
It was $19 at Party City.
You said you were going to dress up.
I did. Oh, you know what? I got a mask. Does that work for you?
What is it? Taste
it.
What do you guys? Whoa!
It's a comedy about the recession.
Oh, okay.
Looks like it.
Adam's seen it. Adam, tell everyone about that movie.
I never seen it. I never saw it. You've seen it though.
What are you guys going? Are you guys doing trick or treat? And what are you wearing? What are you going to be dressed up as for Halloween?
Nothing, man. Nothing will.
So we got a Superman outfit for my 2-year-old and I think a Wonder Woman costume for the infant. And well, when's the cutoff for infant? When are they no longer infants?
When you
2.
say they aren't.
2.
2? No, really? Well, okay, then she's an infant.
When they start toddling around.
I meant newborn. She's not a newborn anymore, I guess. She's an infant.
No.
7 for newborns.
And we are gonna go to I think my brother-in-law is just in the backyard and
JP
do yes.
No, Adam's got the coolest brother-in-law in the world.
He's very cool.
He's a very talented tattoo artist.
We're not gonna. Yeah, he really is. And we're not gonna.
Does he do foot tattoos? I know you like those, Nando.
Yeah, Adam. I haven't asked yet.
So we're gonna do
Can you just do one big black dot on the foot?
private trick or treating. How about you, Will?
We're gonna be my son Robbie's gonna be he's gonna be Mega Man.
Yes.
He's big into Mega Man.
Yes.
So I'm gonna be Dr. Wily.
Yeah, dude, that's awesome.
Yeah. And my wife is we're trying to find there's not a whole lot of female characters in Mega Man. So that's
Mega Man is oh no, wait, that was Metroid.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mega Man is a girl, Nando.
Mega Man is a guy.
Mega Man. That's right.
Sorry, Adam. I didn't prepare my notes for Mega Man. I thought we were talking about fantasy football on this show. My bad.
This game is. What are you gonna do, Nando?
Hey, Will, cheers, man. It's good to see you again. Hey,
likewise, buddy. How you doing?
I know Jamie's not drinking.
No.
Nando, what about you? Your Halloween plans?
No, we're not doing anything, man.
Why?
Oh, my brother and cousins. We're gonna do something in my parents' backyard.
Oh, see.
You know.
Something.
Yeah, I don't know. What are you doing, Jareth the Goblin King? Like you personally?
No, I'm not doing it. I'm not dressing up.
Well, if your son's gonna be Superman, you should be Superman's dad.
Jarrell.
Or you could be a piece of kryptonite.
You should be the Russell Crowe version. You should buy one of those muscle suits. You should be a piece of kryptonite. You should be a piece of graphite.
Wired says my kids are going to be Sonic and Tails. That's awesome. That's a good one.
Yeah, it sucks if you're the Tails one though.
All right, Nando, let's get your fantasy.
My son is a huge Sonic fan. He was, I think he was Sonic last year.
These kids will never know what it was like having to play as Tails. Kids these days.
Yeah.
Okay, Nando.
Falling off the screen.
Nando.
What?
How do you value Ezekiel Elliott rest of season?
I don't know, man. I think I want to see what's going to happen with his Dalton concussion. I would guess they're going to exercise some kind of caution. But I don't know, man. It's he's too easy to throw to. I mean, last week he had 11 targets, right? So I would put him top 3 rest of season. I think they're going to have to lean on him more, if anything.
Top 3 rest of season.
Well, yeah. Oh, I mean, look who's out, right? So.
Well, Jamie.
Just almost by process of elimination.
Have moved him out of the top 12.
Oh. Come on, Jamie.
Top 3, but.
All right. Well, let's. All right. So let's discuss who we would have.
Nice
obviously, Kamara.
Let's go.
Right.
Let's go.
Start of the week.
Herbert.
Boom.
Let's go.
A good game, by the way. 22-21 Chargers. This is not a good game. 30-6 Niners, but that's okay. It's good for fantasy. Some interesting fantasy stuff.
And I don't know if you
Not,
noticed, Adam, I have a parlay on this game, so that's good too.
What? Okay, we've got the end of the game. What do you need, Will? What do we?
I'm messing with you now.
That's
like a nice toss.
Herbert he's good.
Oh, who's hurt? Is that Williams?
Yeah.
No, it's Virgil Green.
Oh, Virgil Green.
Oh, that's Donald Parham time.
That's
Right, Adam?
the kind of player that Nando would like.
By the way, do you guys know
the XFL MVP? My bad.
you guys know that earlier on this show,
I think he meant Virgil Green is the type of guy. you like.
Adam asked Vernon Davis about the Washington football team and like being as a part of that organization. And Vernon is a very big fan of the Washington football team and knows the owner very well. And Adam looks at him and he goes, okay, you know what? Why don't you take this time and, make the case for Dan Snyder. Go ahead. Make the case for Dan Snyder.
Okay, well, I didn't say that twice, but I did say that once. But what I was trying to say was he's maligned.
You're like, you're like, according to some media
I
reports.
think it's interesting to hear it. It's interesting to hear it from someone who actually knows him. And it's not what I said.
You know what I would have asked Vernon Davis about? He
What?
is a huge fan of the challenge on MTV. And he actually hosted the reunion show
Oh,
this past season.
That's quite the nugget.
yeah, we didn't know that. You
Yeah, I
could have
didn't
come on for the interview, if you
Well,
want
maybe
that.
you could have just looked at VernonDavisFacts.net and you would have known that.
Vernon Davis.
Redirect to Danny Woodhead facts.net.
Danny Woodhead was
So-
delightful as usual.
Danny Woodhead was great again. Yep, he's great again.
So Vernon, I heard you were on remote control back in the day on MTV. Is that true? Oh, you're too young for remote control. You wouldn't even know. Never mind.
I was
That went over your head
my
into
favorite
12 feet of
MTV
headspace.
show was Singled Out.
It would be, right?
Remember that?
I bet you hit pause a lot on that show, right?
Jeez.
What was the buzzer that he had with you that time?
God.
Oh, yeah. Where's your buzzer today, Adam?
Oh, I have that. Yeah, I have. Where is that? All right, we got some fantasy questions here. You guys ready? Is Nelson Aguilar for real? 3 good games in a row.
Emery Hunt. You're CBS's Emery Hunt. Thanks, guys. Yeah, yeah, you bastards. No, but he's the best. He just tweeted something about an hour ago saying that confidence does a lot to a player, and Aguilar is playing like he's USC Aguilar again. I don't know, man. Maybe Carr likes him a lot. I believe. I wouldn't burn like 20-30% of my fab budget on him or my number one waiver pick, but I would pursue him to a lesser degree.
It was
like
one
if I
of
was
those
number
signings.
5.
It was one of those signings. John Gruden was very, very high on him. I guess they knew each other from living in Tampa, if I'm not mistaken. Or somewhere. There was something where John Gruden said he knew him from someplace. So yeah, I think Brian Evers is going to come back at some point. That's going to be a little bit of a problem. But with the way that he's playing right now, and like you said, Carr likes him, confidence. There's something there.
Is it like, I know we could say like Brian Edwards is better, but I mean, maybe that rapport with Aguilar is for real. And it's like a thing.
Yeah, we don't know that Brian Edwards is better. Now, this is the first game for Aguilar with more than 4 targets. So you got to be like a little skeptical, but it's, it's kind of like what I kind of learned from the Tim Patrick thing. It's production.
What's crazy is that, do you know? All right. So here's his yards per target number for Nelson Aguilar for his career: 6.4, 5.3. And obviously this is coming into today. 6.4, 5.3, 8.1, 7.6, 5.3, 16.8. I mean, his average depth of target is way deeper than you always consider him like a slot guy,
right?
Like chews up underneath it. Now he's just getting deep for them,
right?
Maybe they're finally utilizing him in the right way.
Yeah,
perhaps. So Derek Carr at 24 points, Tom Brady 28. Tom Brady hasn't done much in the second half. As the
You better pick it up.
At a field goal.
Debo Samuel's hurt?
No, don't say that.
He's holding his knee. They ran him out of the backfield. He's holding his left knee, the back. That's hamstring, maybe, Adam?
Could be patella.
Yeah, no, it's plantar fasciitis, I think, Nando. The back of the knee. It's usually no.
Oh, hold on.
Oh God, what now?
Right here, Adam. Not to make light of Deebo Samuel.
I love Devo Samuel.
Nando loves Halloween.
Adam loves excessive headspace in his shot
Nando
for
loves
some
Party
reason.
City.
Should I tilt the
No,
cap?
I don't want to tell you how to. Dave Azer would probably not like this, though.
Nando, do you have a house
Media
account?
coach.
Do you have a house account at Party City?
No, man. I'm more of an Oriental Trading Company kind of guy.
We see your back. Is your usual spot in the store, sir?
So
Can we have your phone? Oh, it's you. We know your phone number.
So the people who really know our shows know that we've been doing stuff at home, not because of COVID, because we're doing construction in our studio. And we had to clean out the entire office because they redid desks, carpet, redid the whole thing. There's there's boxes of Party City stuff from Nando, and he hasn't worked there in what, 5 years?
It's been a while, right?
6 years of stuff. There's puppets, there's costumes, there's outfits, there's so much crap of just Nando stuff from Party City that he would. Oh, I got an idea. I'll be right back. He comes
It
back.
worked.
He comes
Cooper
back.
Commander.
He comes back with like 20 bags of Party City stuff.
Nando had an idea of this devil's advocate segment was not a good.
It was good.
That was good. Adam was actually a good idea. Yeah, you're the only one who didn't like it.
It was a bad segment because people don't like. You have to think about, wait, what does devil's advocate mean? Actually?
I don't think that's a pretty common phrase.
But I know, but you were using it in like an almost opposite way.
It's not like we called it the Gordian knot, where you got to go Wikipedia it.
Looks like Cam Newton is getting benched. Jared Stidham has his helmet on and is standing with the rest of the Patriots offense. He's coming.
Is this a benching though, or is this like Stidham's just coming in?
Well,
I think
blowout.
this is
Blowout.
benching because of score, not benching because of.
I think it's this game is over. Let's get Stidham some reps.
Right.
Jamie, who's our number one waiver wire priority right now?
That's a good question.
I'm sorry to spring that on you.
Let me take a look.
How about Jeff Wilson?
I mean,
Well, he got
Azer
hurt.
needs somebody to replace Ronald Jones with because he's worthless now.
Good grief. Mike Evans wide open. Tom Brady missed them.
I mean, if Jeff Wilson's healthy, it's probably Jeff Wilson. If not, it could be Tevin Coleman.
That's a good call.
That is a good call.
Probably the
Wayne
best.
Gallman will be on the list. He's not the top priority. Sterling Shepard could be the top priority if there's nobody else.
What a weird week. I feel like this week, thankfully, a lot of people didn't get hurt. Usually on Sunday night, I'm putting that list together of like, week 8 injuries.
Oh
Yeah,
my
thanks,
god!
thanks, Nando. We still got 2 more games to go.
It's not as come on, all the stuff. Usually this stuff happens like 1:30. Like, oh my God, did you see these 7 injuries already? Thanks, 2020. But today's been okay.
I can't believe this. I'm very upset about this backfield split for Tampa Bay. Just,
I don't think that Zeke is a top 12 guy.
I guess we got to talk. I mean, if you want to make a list right now, who you
That's
put.
sort of what I was doing and how I got here.
All right. Okay.
All right, so Derrick Henry.
First of all, we
Yeah,
talked
Derrick
about-
Henry's number 1. I
No,
think.
you said top 12 player.
Yeah, that's fine. I okay.
Oh, here we go.
He could be a top. I asked if he was a top 12 player. He could return that value. Let's see if there are 12 players. I'm sure I'd probably take some wide receivers. Why don't we just start with running
I would
backs?
think there were probably a couple wide receivers you would take over Zeke Elliott.
Yeah, why don't we start with running backs? Kamara's one.
Yep. Derrick Henry.
Healthy Aaron Jones.
Yep.
Healthy Christian McCaffrey.
If you're talking about right now,
I think guys right now. So it's sort of like, would you trade if you had Zeke? Would you trade him for this guy? Like you would definitely trade Zeke for Aaron Jones if you had him.
Absolutely, and McCaffrey.
Yep. Aaron Jones,
Would you trade him
McCaffrey,
for McCaffrey?
Kamara, Henry,
now?
easy.
Dalvin,
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely, and Dalvin Cook as well.
Kareem Hunt?
Yep.
no, I wouldn't for Hunt and I wouldn't for Cook.
You went for Cook?
Why
No,
not?
I really think that Zeke is this is the guy they're gonna need to lean on a lot in this offense. Either because you got an inexperienced guy coming in, or you have Dalton, who used to use Gio Bernard a lot and likes throwing to the running back, and Mike McCarthy used the running backs a lot. So I think it's just a couple bad games.
You could have this.
Clyde
this is
Edwards
what-
Elaire?
This is what could be around Zeke.
What,
You
really?
could have
How much would they have
third
Clyde?
Le'Veon
string-
Bell's playing.
third string quarterback and backup offensive line. That's what's around Zeke potentially for who knows how long.
Well, that's the thing. Like to me, that's like 11 targets a game. That's like a panicked quarterback throwing it to Zeke and hopefully hits the second level.
Right. Could
You'd rather have
definitely
Chris Carson than Zeke, right?
Yes.
That's a tie for me. Maybe all right. I want to change my answer to Zeke as top 6. I forgot about Chris Carson.
And James Conner. I mean, like
Josh
James Conner's
Jacobs?
been great. Josh
I don't know,
Jacobs
man.
has just not had a very good year. I mean, let's just be honest. He has one.
Okay, let's talk
game.
about somebody who has had a good year, is having a good game. James Robinson or Ezekiel Elliott rest of season.
Zeke. Let's do
Jonathan
a quick poll
Taylor
on
or
that.
Zeke? I'd rather have Jonathan Taylor.
Jonathan Taylor, I'd rather have over Zeke too.
I think I'd rather have Zeke too.
No way.
Taylor,
Sorry, I mean by myself.
Taylor, I can see, but then like, what happens? There's one game where Jordan Wilkins gets 9 carries again, and Jonathan Taylor gets 1 target. Then it's gonna be like, take Zeke. That's how it works in fantasy football.
No, what are you talking about?
We flip flop all the time. That's what's so frustrating. It's like I just don't want to be guilty of overreacting. And
They've scored 13 points in 2 weeks without Dak Prescott.
Yeah.
Last week he had 8 catches last week. Like that's the point Nando's trying to make, is that who else are they going to turn to? They're
3-star wide receivers and Tony Pollard.
They're going to dump the ball off. No, what is this Tony Pollard stuff?
Zeke played 66% of the snaps last week, and if your argument is again that's because he got benched for fumbling, I'm going to choke slam you through this.
Oh, I'd rather him get benched for fumbling.
No, you wouldn't if you think he's top 12.
No, I'd rather him get benched for fumbling than benched for Tony Pollard, so Tony Pollard can get more work. Tony Pollard has 9 catches this year. 9 catches.
You know that scene in
They have Tony
Zoolander
Pollard stuff.
where Will Ferrell is Mugatu. And he goes,
Two big touchdowns.
Crazy pills. That's right.
Gardner Minshew just threw a beautiful touchdown.
Who's down for the Patriots?
I don't know.
HER something? I don't think he's Eka. I don't think he's a skill player.
Okay, and then
Woo, that was
Conley, I
a
think.
dime by Brady.
feelings don't matter.
Look at this dime by Minshew.
Who did Minshew throw it to?
Conley.
Oh, all right. Why not?
I mean, I think like crapping on Zeke is like saying Keelan Cole is the best wide receiver for the.
So here. Okay, let's back up for a second, because I don't want people to take away from this that Will and I think, or I'll speak for myself, that he's not a startable fantasy player and somebody you're still going to have in your lineup. But he could be outside the top 12 right now, still be a very good player, and return value later. So this is the time to buy low on Ezekiel Elliott. Zach Martin's eventually going to come back. Hopefully Andy Dalton can get his bleep together health-wise and play-wise and look better. And like you said, Adam, the full game with Andy Dalton, it was 8 catches.
Right.
So
right. Yeah. I mean, if
you also
out for the season,
you also still have Philly next week, which their run defense has been good.
Yeah, great.
Pittsburgh week 9. That's a brutal situation for what this offensive line looks like now. Bye in week 10. So you may have 3 weeks of bad production from Ezekiel Elliott coming up if, in fact, Dalton's not there.
Derrick Henry already had his bye. Like, we got to start looking at that now. It's week 8,
James
right?
Conner's
Like, we
had
already had his bye, yeah.
Aaron Jones has had his bye. Christian McCaffrey has not had his bye. So take that into consideration.
Yeah, I read Nando's story about that.
Oh, wait, Derrick Henry did have his bye.
Yeah.
Yes.
Weren't they originally week 13? Was that it? There was some team that was like,
I don't think it was week 13.
No, week 13 is Tampa Bay and Carolina.
Yeah, it was Carolina. It was Christian McCaffrey, right? I knew that there was someone like that very last week. Like, just be careful, because
if somebody offered you right
Ridley
now,
or Zeke Elliott?
who?
Calvin Ridley or Zeke Elliott?
I'll take Ridley.
I'll take Elliott.
Adam Thielen or Zeke Elliott?
I always want the running back, though. This isn't going to work for me.
The thing with Thielen is Jason Lockenfor is reporting that Thielen could be traded. So I'd be a little bit concerned about that if I'm trading for Adam Thielen.
Or all of a sudden Adam Thielen goes somewhere he's wide receiver 1.
Where is he going that he's wide receiver 1?
Jets. Punish him.
I'd rather have Adam Thielen as wide receiver 1 for the Vikings.
What do you mean? He's already wide receiver 1.
Is he?
Yes.
Yes.
You don't think Justin Jefferson's
You know where Thielen could go that would be like an absolute perfect fit?
Look at the Patriots. The Patriots are like 11. This is weird, dude.
He would be really good in that system.
All right, who wins
I'm
the
very
AFC?
excited about this money line parlay, guys.
Bills win the AFC East.
Do you know who the second team in the? So I had Hawaii on Saturday, and I have the 49ers. And do you know who the third team I have in the money line parlay?
The Chargers.
The Lions.
all right.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
Nice.
yeah.
All right, we've got roughing the passer.
All right, I'm leaving. Bye, guys.
No, come on, man. We barely hang out anymore.
Wait, did you really just stay until your exact allotted time?
No,
I didn't even.
I'm 16 minutes past my allotted time.
Jamie was supposed to leave at 6:30.
I wanted to hang on a little bit.
I didn't even know you shaved, man. That's how little we've hung out on air together.
I miss you.
Miss you too. Miss you lots, Jamie. Jamais.
Go. Here's what I want you to do, Nando.
Yeah.
I want you to go to Adam's brother-in-law. I want you to get a big fat foot tattoo.
Oh boy.
And then go to Adam's father-in-law and get it removed.
Go! Boom! Boom! There it is! Woo! See you later.
You know what? Have you thought, like, did you read the Raquel Armstead stories today?
Crazy.
About how he's like going to miss the whole season because he's still having complications. He went back to the hospital twice. I mean, if you read about what's going on, like the COVID after effects and stuff, maybe Cam Newton's got like that brain fog. Maybe the dude had COVID.
So,
My buddy,
why not?
He said he was asymptomatic.
He said, of course he said that. Wouldn't you say that?
No, I wouldn't say that if I weren't asymptomatic.
Well,
I do not.
You like the sad story and everybody feeling bad for you, but
yeah, you would definitely drag it out if you.
Think about Cam Newton's played like with a broken leg before, and he's like, "Hey, I'm fine. Don't worry about it." Is he going to say like, "Oh, well, I got a cough and I can't taste anything, and now I've got brain fog"? Right? Like,
I am not going to sit here and
pick.
yeah,
The house.
I'm not going to sit here and give Cam Newton COVID symptoms. Just like I can't do that.
All right, then why is he playing bad when he was playing so well when he started before COVID?
Here's the thing: he was rushing for touchdowns.
Yeah,
2 rushing touchdowns in each of his first 2 games. He was not throwing the ball. I mean, I'm not going to say he wasn't throwing it well, but like I said, he's had going into this game 162 or fewer yards in 3 of 4 games. So you can't rely on rushing touchdowns. And he's always, I feel like he's kind of been a streaky quarterback. And I don't know, he's just been crap today. Like
that offense was way more fluid before he left.
I guess, yeah. That's what I'm saying. That being in and out of the lineup and not having a training camp and all that, it's tough circumstances for him. I don't think he had fog because he had COVID.
There are a lot of quarterbacks who fit that. I mean, they didn't leave for a couple of games, but they're fine. Their teams are doing all right. Kyle Allen had a good game today.
Do they have as bad of weapons around them as he does? I mean, they have a bad roster, bad offense. I'm sorry to say it.
What's wrong with it? They got Julian Edelman. They got Damian Harris. They got
that you just answered your own question.
Hold on, I'm thinking. They had N'Keal Harry before you got it. They got a Demir Bird, who's super sleeper. No one seems to respect him.
Really good stuff nowadays. It's a very convincing case.
All right. You want to go ahead. Get a milk of toast expert on here, Adam.
But you don't believe anything you're saying. You know the Patriots have a bad offense.
I know. I'm just trying to be difficult.
You're just trying.
But they had the same offense before he left.
Chargers get the ball back. What?
Onside kick.
That was fast.
Adam, you're supposed to be paying attention to this stuff for us and for the people watching on Twitch.
Fumble.
Wait a second.
The fumble, the kick.
That touchdown.
They tied it up. Then the Jaguars fumbled the
fumble on kick return. Wow. Yeah. You know, when I watch like the Giants and the Jaguars, it's amazing how these teams are just like mired in mired in losing. You know, like they can't get out of their own way. These franchises, they're just losers.
Are you aware that the Giants are now one of those?
That's what I said.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, they've been that way. I mean,
they have a Super Bowl in the last.
Since that, they've had 1 year where they made the playoffs, but they
and then when they made the playoffs, I don't think they've had a winning record since they went on that boat trip. Oh, Herbert rushing touchdown, Jamie, boom!
Jamie, I mean, it's incredible. He's got 40 fantasy points, 41 or something. He's the number one quarterback in fantasy this week.
Is he?
As of right now, yeah, because 39 for Mayfield and Burrow, and he just beat that.
Wow.
Yeah, dude.
He's the Millie maker, and I didn't use him.
Awesome.
No, Baker Mayfield's probably the Millie maker. I don't think anyone used Baker Mayfield coming in with like broken ribs and.
Actually, I think Burrow's probably the
joint.
Burrow is currently the Millie maker. Well, these afternoon games are going to.
Baker Mayfield had 5 touchdowns, right?
Yes.
Yeah, DraftKings is a 6-point passing or is it 4-point passing?
I think 4.
Yeah.
Let's see.
It's not a real league unless it's 6, Adam, right?
I like 6. I'm not so big on 4-point, but you know.
Burrow is currently the Millie maker because you stack him with Tyler Boyd, Chiefs defense, Harrison Bryant, Johnson, Devontae Adams.
Touchdown might be coming back.
I guess you would have stacked Beckham with Mayfield, and that kind of backfired.
Yeah, that's
right.
I had a Burrow, Boyd stack, and I brought it back with Mayfield. I mean, with Beckham.
Hey, let's get a Twitch poll here. What do we got? Let's do.
He's short. Yep.
Ask something about Denzel Mims.
Yeah, I think people really want to talk about that.
Adam, this is our job: is bringing these people to the forefront. Denzel Mims just came right off IR and had 4 for 42. That's a pretty good first game for a rookie who's been in and out of the lineup and doesn't know the game plan.
And Brashad Perryman got hurt
again.
Nando.
Who's going to win this night game?
Wait a second. I'm looking at the box score here. I don't see that he had a catch. Am I wrong?
No, man. Come on.
He had 4 for 42?
It's MIMS.
Yeah.
You know, he plays for the Jets.
I know who he is. Went to Baylor. All right.
Keep going.
Am I wrong here? Is it just the box score is wrong?
Yeah, Denzel Mims, 7 targets, 4 receptions. What are you looking at?
No, you're right.
Thank you.
A wrong box score.
Thanks for questioning me, Adam.
No, that's not good.
What are you looking on? You got to go to the Score app. That's the only one I trust. And CBSSports.com.
Yeah, right.
Thanks, Lowe's.
33-6, the score here. Final minute. This game is a quick game. Sorry, I shouldn't have said that. It's going to take forever to end, but.
Wasn't it a longer game? Better for we get to hang out more.
This is a very I would 100% pancake a guy and steal his soul over scoring a touchdown.
Yeah, that's a beautiful quote from George Kittle. That is great.
He's just casually wiping his nose with a shirt live on air.
I always have like an itch.
Sure, it's an itch.
No, every week this happens to me.
Oh, my nose itches too, Adam.
Oh. No. Okay, let's do a Twitch poll.
Wait, do you like Mims more now that you've learned that he had 7 targets and 4 for 42?
Can you just let me get the damn Twitch poll out, please? Ezekiel Elliott or who?
I bought a ghost for you, Adam.
You want to do James Robinson?
No, I think that's 2. I think that's going to be 2 Ezekiel Elliott. But I could be wrong. Go ahead. But I bet you it'll be 70-30.
All right, let's start with that. Ezekiel Elliott or James Robinson? Let's vote. Let's vote, people. I'm very disappointed about Deebo Samuel. He was having such a nice game. So involved.
Running him out of the backfield this late in a blowout game is one of the few poor coaching choices there, I think. Just run Hasty, man. You got Hasty and McKinnon.
No, my nose is really itching me.
Yeah. Oh yeah. All right.
I'm like, I can't really like get in there to fix it, because then it is going to be like looking like that's bad.
Well, I mean, you're basically off screen at this point now. Your head is so low in the shot that you could probably just go ahead. There you go.
Did Cam have under 45 rushing yards? Yes. Yeah, by a lot. Bang! Hit another prop.
All right. Bank account, Brinson bank account on the rise. Stock up.
Needed it after last week.
Where's our Twitch poll? Come on, man.
Oh, wait. What time do the Rays play? Do they play tonight? Is there a World Series game tonight?
Yeah, should be 8:07. That's my guess.
You looking at the right site?
How much of the 8:08? How much of the game did you guys watch yesterday?
The Rays game?
Yeah.
The whole thing.
You watched the entire baseball game. 4 hours of baseball.
I have 3 TVs in my office. One was on baseball.
Man, what has happened to Adam Azer chiding someone else for watching a baseball game?
No, I'm not chiding. I'm impressed because
you watched the entire World Series.
How could you? I watched the entire Mariners game.
I find it to be a tough watch. I think it's too long, too slow. I love baseball, but I really think they got to make.
Glad they got you off that Fantasy Baseball Today podcast.
Wow.
I used to say that when I was on the podcast. I'm just being honest. I'm
not a big sports fan myself, fellas.
No, love it, but willing to criticize, willing to be honest about it. That game should not have taken 4 hours. 4+ shouldn't have happened.
The World Series game takes 4 hours.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous. It's a bad experience. A bad experience for fans.
Why?
It's a Saturday night. It's not like the kids have to go to school the next day.
Yeah, what do you got going on here?
Yeah, man. When you watch a movie, you stay out of the movie theater until like 11.
I'm trying to get to sleep. Darn it!
I have an infant. I think.
Yeah.
I
want to watch the new Borat movie.
I have to iron the Superman cape for my son.
No,
I have to tilt my.
Yeah.
Oh, thank goodness, man.
We can't trust Adam's stat service anymore.
13 carries, 34 yards, and a touchdown. It's the lack of catches, though. 1 catch for 2 yards. That's really...
Thanks to I'm checking my box scores on Vernon Davis boxscores.org.
I don't know that you can start any running back against the Buccaneers.
Oh, really? You were ready to say it?
Historically great.
10 carries for 17 yards. I actually think they are on their way to having a historically great run defense.
The 85 Bears, 2000 Ravens, and now the 2020 Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Steel
curtain.
Vita Vea, you are talking about an incredible front seven.
Well, they had a good run defense last year, but it was mostly because they were a pass funnel.
No, it's because they had Ndamukong Suh and Vita Vea and their I always forget the name of the linebacker they drafted in the first round a couple of years ago. Devin White. You know
that Devin White was the last person. I interviewed him right before I fell off a scooter in Nashville.
Oh, wow.
In fact, I told him that I rode over to interview him on a bird scooter, and he was like, "That's pretty cool. I got to try it out." I was like, "Do not," I was like, "They are very dangerous. Do not get on one until you sign that contract." And then immediately went out and fell off it.
Did someone sideswipe you, or was it just like a
some guy came pulling out of the garage, and I moved right, and the concrete's not level like around Nashville. They're like every single sidewalk is has a thing, and so I was on a downhill slope, and I tried to jump up, and it caught, and my book bag went high and rolled me off of the scooter, and I went tumbling down. I had a huge cut. It was gushing blood above my eye.
Did you go to the hospital? Nashville Hospital?
I did. My wife maybe. I was going to just grind it out, but
Ezekiel Elliott and James Robinson poll update: 7 votes for Robinson, 6 for Zeke. Okay, I haven't voted yet. I'm going to vote for Zeke. 7-7. We are tied. All right.
Do you believe that, or are you just doing it for content?
No, I'd rather have Zeke.
All right.
I feel like the fantasy industry is so game by game overreactions, and you're just taking the worst game by Zeke. And he has a lot of problems, a lot of issues working against him, but I think it's a bit of an overreaction to freak out.
I agree. But you know what? At the same time, I always worry coming off of baseball season where it's like a marathon and a slog, and you really got to don't worry, everything's going to be fine. It's only July. For football, you got to be I got to move. There's not a lot of time. There's not a lot of time to dote on these players if if it's trending downward.
Oh, touchdown, Melvin Gordon. No, you're right. You can be a little bit too patient. That is
Yes.
the sort of baseball.
Touchdown, Melvin Gordon.
Yep.
We got the over there.
All right. Congratulations.
Oh, did you get the lower? Did you get when it was lowered because of the snow? Nice.
Actually, our pal, former coworker Nick Costas, tweeted out that everybody should take the over, so I jumped on it with him.
There you go. That's a lot of faith in Nick Costas.
Yeah, it's probably stupid.
No, what is it? It was 52. It was like four. It was you would have gotten it anyway. Even with wasn't the old one like 47?
I got it at 45.5.
Nice.
Oh, I've already had it. I had it. Never mind.
Yeah, right. You were you were in good shape.
Never mind. Cool. That's fine.
Well, on Adam's app, it says they've only scored 23 total points. So
Melvin Gordon, Leonard Fournette gets a first and goal carry.
I wouldn't read too much into whatever's happening up 18 points. Like, I don't think.
No, I know. Just saying. Yeah. Just
Adam, what do you think about this Kansas City backfield while we're on that Denver game?
I think Le'Veon Bell is, not really anything special. I would have tried to trade him immediately.
Really? Yeah, he sucks. He averaged 6.5 yards per carry today.
What do you have? 4 carries?
Those are correct stats. 6 for 39.
6 for 39. Yeah, he didn't really.
In his first game in the Andy Reid system.
No, I don't know what you want me to say. Like, just
I can't wait to see. I'm just trying to. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I don't know. Leonard Fournette, touchdown. Nope, out of bounds. Just shy of the end zone. Buccaneers rolling here, up 38-20. Looks like they're about to punch it in. Blowout here for San Francisco, up 33-6. And this is a great game, though. 36-29. Track meet, Chargers and the Jaguars and Kansas. So we got 4 games going on right now, and 3 of them are massive blowouts. And then we have this Jaguars-Chargers game.
Who are we cheering for in the Jaguars-Chargers game?
I'm cheering for the Jaguars because I want the.
Oh, this is the Giants thing?
Trevor Lawrence.
Well, are we guaranteed? Like, is Trevor Lawrence for sure going to be good?
Yeah.
You sure?
I've never felt so certain about something in my life.
What about your marriage?
Trevor Lawrence.
What about your choice of wall art?
I am pretty happy with my choice of wall art. I get a lot of compliments. Look, you can even see the game I'm watching in my wall art. Right?
I know, it's been very helpful.
Yeah.
I just got CBS on because I support the product.
I also have CBS on. I have CBS on there.
I don't see not the one in the Simpsons poster.
No, Red Zone. CBS is on the big screen, big TV.
I like how you position your ring so it looks like you have a halo. Smart. It's good. You're light. Yeah, look at that. Oh, what a guy. What a saint.
So Melvin Gordon ends up having a good game. 17 carries, 68 yards, and a touchdown.
Wow.
2 catches for 12 yards. Philip Lindsay getting hurt obviously helped him there. Touchdown pass for Brady, but there is a flag on the play, so we will check it.
You know what I find crazy about this Jacksonville game? Is that Zigbo didn't get it. Like, no running backs besides James Robinson got any work. And I know, like, once Chris Thompson went on COVID, I'm like, all right.
What does Bruce Arians have on his face? There's a lot going on here.
I didn't
like
see
2 pairs of glasses and a face shield.
Oh,
it's high risk.
Oh, Brady again.
Good for Gardner Minshew, stepping up today. Good for Gardner Minshew having a good game,
Oh, yeah.
Wait, was he maligned?
Yeah, there was a report that he might get benched.
So, Adam, just in case you're wondering, he has 165 passing yards and 2 touchdowons.
Yeah, Brady
went on 20
I mean,
attempts.
Yeah, but so what? That's not a good game.
He's thrown the ball 20 times. He's gotten
He's got 12 completions.
He has not thrown an interception. Like, he's got his team in the game. He's doing fine. They've scored 29 points.
It's weird.
I guess that's a real football.
By Adam. Minshew.
Yeah. That's fair. I'd put him ahead of Ezekiel Elliott. Another poll.
That's the season. Minshew or Elliott? I say both.
I'm going to vote myself here.
I'm going to tell you guys something. If you were hosting this thing and not just checking your bets and thinking of funny one-liners to make fun of me with, you would have to say things to kill time. I have to talk about Gardner Minshew.
Are you killing time? I'm having fun.
I didn't see his damn stats. All I know is they got 29 points on the board. And
I'm not hosting. I can go get a beer if I want.
Dude, we got with 30 seconds left in the game.
Yeah, I'm going to go refill my glass.
Oh my gosh, this is misery. These guys.
I'm just kidding. I wouldn't do that to you because this is friend. Because you put me in your wedding parties. This is friendship.
Oh jeez. You
What do we think about pumpkin beer, guys?
Can't do it. Can't do it. I tried. Can't do it. But I will buy anything that has a cool Halloween label.
I know there's some beer folks in the. So pumpkin beer, Twitch. Put a poll up.
Yeah, put a poll up, Adam.
Dude, we got 20 seconds left of the game. I don't think we have to do another Twitch.
Yeah, but they're going to switch to the games that aren't done yet.
15 Zeke Elliott polls are fine, but we can't do a pumpkin beer poll.
Yeah, do pumpkin beer versus squash beer. See what people say.
This is sort of both. This is called the Gorgeous. Get it? Gorgeous.
That's clever.
I don't get it, actually.
That's clever.
Pumpkins are gourds.
Okay.
So it's gorgeous.
Yeah, that's great. I think Patrick Mahomes might have or somebody threw a touchdown. Oh, Chad Henne. Chad Henne, I think. Oh, no, he was out of bounds. Patrick Mahomes has been removed from the game. A fantasy dud. Patrick Mahomes. 14 fantasy points, 23 pass attempts.
How did McCole Hardman do?
He led the team in receiving, 2 catches for 57 yards.
That can't be right.
I swear. Well, I mean,
oh, that's actually, yeah, you're right. That's right. But Tyreek Hill, wow, on 2 targets. Tyreek Hill had 10 targets. Elaire had 4. He was second on the team with 4 targets.
And he dropped a touchdown.
That wasn't, I mean, the snow wasn't even that bad, right? Like this isn't like, oh, because of the snow.
Well, the Chiefs had a defensive touchdown. They had a kick return for a touchdown. So they just didn't have to throw the ball much. They've had the ball for 21 minutes and 50 seconds so far. So it's just game script was really bad. Their DST basically ruined their fantasy options. It was nice to see Tyreek Hill have 11 targets, though. That was nice because he had 6 targets in 5 of 6 games, like exactly 6 targets, I think, or 6 or fewer, maybe.
Buccaneers scored again.
Last play of the game, a sack for the 49ers DST.
Unless Mike Evans, man. 2 for 37 today, Adam.
Missed them on a deep ball. Could have had a bigger day, but
he got a penalty, I think, right? Didn't he get a pass interference in there?
Chris Godwin had a nice day. Wow. Scott Miller almost had 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, but I mean, this is all coming to an end.
Baby.
What do you think about Antonio Brown? Game over, by the way, in Foxborough.
I can't believe a team signed him. He's a loose cannon, man. If anyone's going to cause a breakout of COVID in a locker room, it's going to be Antonio Brown.
I think the only logic I can come up with for the Buccaneers, and by the way, I think I'm pretty glad that I bet the Buccaneers at 5-1 to win the NFC, because I think that's going to be like 3.5 to 1.
Oh, that's probably going to be like 1-2 at this point, man.
Well, Packers won big too. So, but like, I mean, the only real argument for it, I think, is that you're trying to prevent Seattle from getting it.
But I mean, Seattle at any point, well, I guess not at any point in time, but they got Josh Gordon who can just enter the chat whenever his stuff is over. I
wouldn't mess with Happy. That's my buddy Garrett is saying. Don't mess with Happy.
Yeah, but that's what I've been saying. Yeah.
Tom Brady, right?
The Buccaneers are. Why does Tom Brady like Antonio Brown?
3 people in that locker room are Tom Brady guys, right? It's Brady, Gronk, and now Antonio. Like, who else did he bring in? Leonard Fournette? Like
Shady.
Yeah, they're like 50 other people who might not like Tom Brady.
That's the thought that Brady. I think Brady likes him and
he loves him.
Enjoyed having him on the team, right? So,
are you worried about Evans and Godwin? I mean, you just move Godwin to the slot and Brown's on the outside. If Brown's happy not getting a ton of
who's down for the Chargers now?
Hunter Henry is walking off the field.
That's not Hunter Henry though, is it?
I love when the scheduled game ends early, so there's bonus.
Yeah, so we're out of here actually. Thank
bonus
you.
Brinson.
Bonus.
I'm
being told by the producers, Adam, that Nando and I are going to leave, but you were going to stay on by yourself through the end of the Chargers game.
Yeah, kill some time, Adam. For the
there
people.
Is 10 minutes and 36 seconds left on there. You have some monologue. Oh.
Your pumpkin beer poll is extremely popular. It has 3 votes so far. So
Hunter Henry's grimacing. What did you put the pumpkin beer up against?
It's just thoughts on pumpkin beer, yay or nay. 3 nays so far. I even voted for nay, and I don't drink beer. So
Donald Parham Jr. is going to be the number 1 waiver wire pick.
All right, everybody. Thanks so much for tuning in. I know we didn't talk too much about the game, but I think you understand why. 33-6, the final score. The Niners improve to 4-3, I believe. Yeah, 4-3.
I'm drinking a pumpkin beer, and I actually voted no.
Thanks to Will. Thanks to Jamie. Thanks to Nando, Danny Woodhead, Vernon Davis. Much appreciated. Our producer, Jamie Mazauskas, Ben Schrager for helping out as well. And we appreciate you hanging out with us. It's always really a pleasure to interact with everybody and to have you here on the Home Team Watch Party presented by Lowe's. I'm Adam Azer. We will talk to you on Tuesday with our Waiver Wire show, 8 p.m. Eastern. See you then.